streaming. Yep.
No one with us just yet, but we're going to share this out.
Do we have audio, though? It's not coming through on here.
We weren't talking.
Beautiful. All right. Cool.
2 people watching. That's us.
Yeah. Yeah, confused. Well, baseball is back to ourselves. Nice. Live stream on YouTube. Stealing a page out of Joe Rogan's book for this one.
Episode 9 of the Garage Party Podcast, technically. We're eating pizza.
We are
Watching
eating
baseball.
Pizza, watching baseball. Watching Garrett Cohen in an isolated booth all by himself. I'm sure
Yes,
the people on YouTube are probably thrilled to hear us chewing on the pizza right in the
Oh, yeah.
microphone. Probably lift that while we chew.
Well, gladly, it's not only audio. We're exclusively on YouTube today.
We are exclusively on YouTube. Waiting for first pitch, 4:10 p.m. Gary, Keith, and Ron back in the booth, first time all season.
But we hope you're listening to us instead.
We do.
As we chew. It's one of those days. Baseball, pizza.
It's a beautiful thing, Billy. America's pastime. It's back. James L. Jones said it best. People will come. Well, we're here.
So is one other person.
They probably heard us chew and tuned right out. They're like, all right, enough of this. What do you suppose the people watching are?
I don't know.
Is that you?
No.
Nice. All right, so we actually do have somebody watching us. It's a little weird. I feel like it's an invasion of our privacy.
I mean, we asked.
We did promote it. We said we were going to do it. Here we are. Nice. All right. Well, if you have the Met game on right now, you are watching Ron and Keith talk about this upcoming season. Maybe we should do the same. What do you think about the Mets this year, Billy?
It's all a crapshoot right now. A 60-game season. I have them at 32 wins.
I'll tell you what. Expanded 16 playoffs, they might make it now.
It's anyone's shot, right? 60 games.
60 games. Major League Baseball announced yesterday that they expanded the postseason to now include 16 teams. So what's going to happen there is you're going to have everybody who's in first and second place make the playoffs in every division. And then the 2 best teams with the 2 best records that aren't in the 1 and 2 slot will also make the playoffs. It's unbelievable. Everybody's getting in.
Yeah.
It's a little much for me.
It is a little too much.
A little much for me.
But I like the playoffs. I like playoff baseball. So if it means more playoff baseball, I'm for it, I think.
Well, it definitely means more playoff baseball. Now you're going to have a couple round of threes. You're going to have – it's going to be very interesting to see how they do this. But it's going to happen. I'm just excited it's back. I'm excited we're back.
We are back.
Garage Party Podcast. Officially, this is going to be episode 9. This is episode 9 because it's Friday. So this is the day we would normally drop a new live episode. So you're looking at episode 9 right here. I think the title is very appropriately named. Baseball is back.
Baseball is back, baby.
Except if you're a YouTube viewer and you're listening to us on YouTube, you're getting the exclusive rights right now because we're not going to be on Spotify this week. We're not going to be on SoundCloud. Google, YouTube is the only place you can find episode 9. Google Podcast, not going to be on there.
Nope.
You're not going to find this on Spotify.
Nope.
YouTube.
The big Y. That's what they call it. That's what the kids call it nowadays.
That's what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah. Let's see if we could send this link to our Instagram story. So
that people can actually just tune into our Instagram story and watch us for the next 3.5 hours? Talk about baseball and...
Well, just the link,
how it's
so
back?
they can go to Instagram, see the link, and then it'll take you to YouTube.
That's fair.
Can you post a link on there?
I don't know.
About to find out.
For the people watching us, if you can post a link to Instagram and you know how to do that, reach out to us in some way. There's many ways to get in contact with the Garage Party Podcast. Most likely you already know a way if you're watching us on YouTube.
See, I put a link, but I don't know if it's clickable.
Let's see. You posted it?
No, it's right here, though. I'm actually going to delete it because my toes are in it.
You don't think people want to see toes?
Nope. I don't think so.
That's a shame.
Maybe we'll just do one of these. That's Cuomo on the screen.
That's not going to be... There you go. That's a nice shot. Why don't you throw that up there? Look at all those cardboard cutouts. You know, I made fun of that last week.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them, right?
It wasn't that many last week, was it?
Well, no. This is opening day.
So you're saying the cardboard, there was less attendance of card. Is it all in the bleachers
that's
too?
the 7 line, yeah. All the 7 line guys put their stuff out there where they would normally be. All right, here's your lineups. Starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves, leading off Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Marcell Ozuna, Matt Adams, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Ender Inciarte, Met Killer, and Alex Jackson, the catcher today for the Braves, who found out earlier this morning that their top 2 catchers, both Eric Flowers and Travis d'Arnaud, were still experiencing COVID-19 related symptoms and will not be ready to go for opening day. So they turned to Alex Jackson, their third catcher. They had to deep dive into their system to find him and call him up. But he's here. He's here on opening day, and he'll be the starting catcher for the Braves. Jacob deGrom on the hill for the Mets. Should be a good one, coming off another Cy Young Award performance. His second. He's going for 3 in a row. Only a couple of pitchers have accomplished 3 in a row. That would be Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson. And the first pitch of the 2020 baseball season for the New York Mets is over for a strike as Acuna swings and misses at a fastball right down the middle at 99 miles an hour.
99. They were saying Jake's been hitting triple digits.
Triple digits, I mean, is pretty impressive for Jake coming out of the gate after just, the summer camp that they just had. Woof.
Could be why his back was hurting a couple weeks ago.
Could be. Suffered a little bit of back tightness last week. Gave Mets fans a bit of a scare. Sent for an MRI. They checked him out. Everything was clear. But unfortunately not the case for starting pitcher Marcus Stroman, who went on the injured list this week with a calf strain tear and will be out for a substantial amount of time. So now you're looking at no Noah Syndergaard, no Marcus Stroman. Syndergaard for the entire season and Stroman for a good portion of the season, as the 1-2 count to Acuna from deGrom is fouled off by Acuna.
Which is good if you're Steven Matz.
Well, I think it's going to put a lot more pressure on deGrom, as if he didn't already have enough pressure on him coming off 2 Cy Young Awards. I mean, I think it puts more pressure on him because now, the protection behind him, it's just not there. You look at the depth that the team has. They went out this offseason. They signed Rick Porcello and Michael Wacha, which gives them a little bit more depth. But for the most part, Jacob deGrom and Steven Matz are really the only 2 boons in that rotation after the injuries to Stroman and Syndergaard. And the 2020 season first out has been recorded. The first strikeout for Jacob deGrom comes on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle as he strikes out Acuna swinging. boy, he's really hitting the radar there. He's throwing that ball right by Acuna.
Triple digits.
Triple digits
With
almost.
movement.
With movement. Looks like classic Jake right out of the gate.
Right on the outside black.
Does that worry you a little bit? Maybe he's a little too juiced up for this start?
I was thinking that when they were reporting that he had all this back stiffness.
Yeah, back is always, always an interesting one because it can act up on you anytime. There it is, 100 miles an hour. The first pitch to Ozzie Albies fouled back. 100 miles an hour fastball from Jake DeGrom.
Which last year he seldom hit triple digits. So the fact that he's already thrown 4 of his 7 pitches he's thrown 100. I don't know if it's concerning or if he's just been, bulking up, adding muscle, getting stronger as he gets older because he's still a young guy.
Still a young guy. Not the youngest pitcher on the team, obviously.
Sporting a quarantine beard.
Yeah. 0-2 count to Albies, going for back-to-back strikeouts to start the campaign here. Albies fouls back. But, you know what? Now it feels right. We're sitting here, we're watching the Mets. They're playing the Braves. It seems a little weird that it's opening day as we sit here on July 25th or whatever today is.
Yeah.
July 24th.
It's not April. Not March.
Not
31st.
April. It's not March. It's July 24th, and we're sitting here
we
watching opening day.
We didn't even have a preseason like in the late February, early March.
Well, there was a spring training, but it was 5
was,
months ago, so that doesn't really count anymore.
Yeah, but we didn't have spring training games to really assess the club and not that there's that many new faces with the Mets.
There's a couple new ones, and you'll see them scattered about. They're not so much not major changes to the lineup. I think the biggest change to the lineup that you'll see will be the return of Yoenis Cespedes.
It's a new old face.
It's a new old face, if you will.
Or old new face?
Right. New
old face.
New old face. Yes. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that'll play just fine.
As Jake records a second out of his...
Of the 2020 campaign.
Yeah.
A ground out from Albies to McNeil at first. Easily throws over to Alonso.
Making pretty quick work so far.
Quick work of him so far. Yeah, this feels right, boy. Noted Met killer Freddie Freeman up at the plate right now. God, I hate this guy. Like quarantine, and I think he was one of the guys who actually got COVID.
Yeah,
he was.
He was one of the first ones reported.
And I think he got it like pretty bad. I think his symptoms were actually pretty rough.
Yeah.
One of the big names not in the season, not playing this season for the Braves is they lost Josh Donaldson in the offseason. Will not be at third base anymore for Atlanta. Had a nice season last year with them on a 1-year contract, but will not be with them this season.
Just tweeted out the link, so hopefully more people will join us as we watch Mets opening day. If you're just joining us, this is officially episode 9 of the Garage Party podcast.
It certainly is.
Sitting down and enjoying some baseball for Mets opening day.
Feels good. This feels right. A little bit different for us, and we're used to being able to record, and we have topics as Jake issues a walk to Freddie Freeman.
Which we can still do,
Yeah, we can talk about anything we want.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this game doesn't get out of hand on us. But you know what? You never know.
Be a real barn burner.
Real barn burner, one way or the other. But we'd love for you to interact with us while we're on the air here. Be sure to tweet at us. Be sure to Instagram us. We'd love to hear your interactions. Tweet us about the game.
We're going to comments on YouTube. We'll be keeping an eye on it.
Absolutely. We'll be tweeting certain things throughout the day. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter. Garage Party Podcast at Garage Party Pod. Party spelled PRTY, because as we went over in episode 8, some bastard stole Garage Party PARTY
rightfully ours
podcast. Yeah.
If you know who owns it, message us.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm gonna pull up to their house in a ski mask.
Demand our name back. Some nonsense out of them. Marcell Ozuna, good addition for the Braves last season, coming out of St. Louis. Just a really good all-around player. They're putting up the graphic right now on SNY. 20-plus home runs in 5 of his last 6 seasons, a 2-time All-Star, and a Gold Glove and Silver Slugger in 2017. Just a really good player. Surprised St. Louis let him get away. Really surprised. He's a good player.
The Braves in general have a real solid squad.
They really do. I think that they're by far the favorite to win the division now, even though the Nationals are coming off a World Series championship.
Possibly the league. Between them and the Dodgers.
Yeah, I would say that the Dodgers and them are probably the top 2 candidates in the National League because The Nationals won the World Series last year, but their roster is just not what it was when that season ended last year. They lost, most notably, their key third baseman, Anthony Rendon, who signed a massive contract with the Los Angeles Angels. So now back-to-back seasons, they've lost both Bryce Harper and Anthony Rendon, but they mixed in a World Series championship in there. So the division, I think, is going to look a lot different. The Miami Marlins are still kind of...
What's the Braves rotation looking like? I don't even...
The Braves rotation today is going to be Mike Soroka. I'd have to look up and see how it's going to shape out 2 through 5, but they're good. They're definitely the class
strong,
of the division, I would say.
Squad.
Yeah, we can pull it up. Rotation.
Which makes this a huge series with only 60 games. If we could steal...
Every game is huge because it's...
steal a couple games.
Yeah, and especially, like I was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, if you're just joining us now, the new expansion of the playoffs implemented yesterday by Major League Baseball. 16 teams making the playoffs, which means that both the top 2 teams, the first and second place teams in the division, will both make the playoffs. So that actually gives the Mets another little opportunity to get in there. Now, granted, they still got to compete with the Phillies and the Nationals and the Braves, all teams that on paper either have a just as good roster as the Mets or even better. But you know what? It's a 60-game sprint, and nobody knows how things are going to go. Teams get hot. They get cold. Look at the Nationals last year. They get COVID. God forbid. Hopefully all these guys stay healthy. It's happening already. Juan Soto yesterday before the game at 9 a.m. yesterday before the matchup against the Yankees. Tested positive.
Especially when these guys are going to be traveling, too.
They are going to be traveling.
It's more limited now.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a 60-game sprint. You never know what's going to happen. I think the best example to look at is the Washington Nationals from last year, who started out like 13-37. They were 10 games back in the National League East, and then turned it on in the second half and really just never looked back. Ended up winning the World Series. But if you have a 13-37 stretch during this season, you're done. You're going to end up in last place. That's the season. That's the season, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the course of the next couple months. But so far, I mean,
because we kind of have this tradition of going to either game 1 or game 2 the last 5-6 years now,
which I can guarantee you will not happen this year.
Well, we already missed. Mm-hmm. So hopefully next year we'll be there. Won't be in a cardboard cutout form at either opening day or game 2, which we were going to do this year too. Something we do every year.
Mm-hmm.
As Rich chews his pizza crust. And Mello watches us on site over here. What are you looking at?
All right. Starting lineup.
Here come your New York Mets.
For the Metsies.
First
leading
time
off.
At the plate.
Brandon Nimmo. McNeil. And the graphic came down, so you'll have to just follow along.
I wonder if people watching us are even watching the game, or if they're just listening to us.
You think they're just...
Or vice versa? Like, if they're watching the game, they're paying attention to the game instead of us?
Oh. See, we obviously, we got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Now, we can't show you the game, obviously, for streaming
I may not be
copyright
listening
reasons.
to you very well, but...
I've only heard like 3 words you said the entire time, so it goes both ways. I'm just super into this right now. This is great. 2-0, Nimmo. He's already working the count, this guy. He's back.
I like
on-base machine.
I like him as a leadoff guy.
I do, too. He gets on base. Gets on base for McNeil behind him. Then you got your big boys.
Big year for Big Pete.
Big year for Big Pete last year. That's for sure. Hoping he...
Well, this is like... Last year, obviously, was his breakout rookie year, but this is what will separate him from being just a flash in a pan. You know, because even...
And Nimmo with a base hit up the middle.
Make good 2 out of that.
No way. No. You go back.
He thought about it.
Yeah. Ender Inciarte's got a nice arm in center field. He's a good all-around player. Leave it alone. Next man up, Jeff McNeil. That's all you got to do. No need to push. We just received a pretty funny text from our good friend Paul, who just texted us late in July, and the Mets are still in first place.
There's always
that is true.
That one snippet from Family Guy that goes around.
And the season's over.
Right after the first pitch.
Yep.
Which, with this whole 60-game season, a lot of optimism.
I mean, because nobody knows anything. Who knows? It's literally going to be all.
This is Mr. Optimism we're talking to over here.
I think I have them at I'll
50
throw
and
it
10?
out there now. Yeah, 57 and 3.
57 and 3.
Things break well.
Yeah.
They got to get a couple breaks along the way.
I still
Rick
can't get over
Porcello
these
and Michael Wacha compete for comeback player of the year.
These cardboard cutouts.
It is
ridiculous.
It is a little odd.
Oof.
Oh, a double play on a nice snag by Freddie Freeman on the ball that was ticketed for
What's going on with McNeil's hair?
for the line. Yeah, he's letting it flow.
Something weird going on.
Letting it flow. Looks like he's rocking a bandana underneath the helmet too.
He put a curling
He
curlers
might
in
have.
there at night.
He might have. Oof. Yeah, nothing you can do there. Nothing you can do there. Good play by Freddie Freeman. Gold glove first baseman right there.
Just like that, we got 2 outs.
Nobody on.
And that's the season.
And the season's over. Yeah, McNeil letting the flocks. Look at
He's got the
letting
whole
the flocks. Locks flow.
the headband.
I like it.
too.
All right, first at bat of the season for the Polar Bear, Pete Alonso, coming off a massive rookie season, 53 home runs, 120 RBIs, 260 batting average. Everything Mets fans could have expected and more.
I think he's gonna go yard right now.
Hope
I
you're right.
see it in his eyes.
You do. You're trying to call it on air? That'd be a good promo, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be a nice promo.
All the other commentators and announcers do it. All right, I see a little empty seats. They didn't fully sell out Citi Field with these cardboard cutouts.
No, but you know what?
I see some empty seats.
They did a pretty good job with them, though.
You think they're laminated? We mentioned this last week.
I want to know, do you get your cardboard cutout when the season's over?
Yeah.
And what do you do with the cardboard cutout in the rain?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's, storm cloud above, right, in Flushing right now. If we get a little drizzle, are these things just going to shrivel right up? I wouldn't mind that whole section, the 7 line, just getting a little torrential downpour.
Just to see what happens to them?
Yeah.
I am curious about
Just
these.
to see all those orange slump into the seats and see them like a melted crayon in the outfield.
Do you think it'll be like when you're actually at a game and it starts to rain and they try to get everybody out of there as quickly as possible?
They just have someone goes
You
around.
think they're going to have somebody who collects all the cardboard cutouts and runs them out of there? Fear of lightning?
I wonder. It's got to be what is it? The groundkeeper's job to just put them out
I don't know.
every game.
No idea. No idea.
$86.
$86. Well, Pete Alonso grounds out to short, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the second inning after this commercial break, but no commercial breaks from us. We're staying with you all the way today.
Oh, yes, we are.
All the way. No commercial breaks.
And we got Mello on hand.
We got Mello on hand, of course. Be sure to interact with us. Tweet us.
You leave us some comments.
Let us know what you think. This is kind of a trial run that we're doing today. We have plans to do this later on in the we have plans to do this in August when UFC 252, Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, which would be a cool thing to do. I think we would have a good time doing it with the UFC fights, but we're kind of using today as a trial run. So let us know what you think. It's all about you guys as fans, so if you guys enjoy it, we'll definitely try to incorporate a little bit more in what we do here, but let us know. How's he doing? How's Mello doing?
Melo's doing good. He wanted your crust.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Pizza's
But,
good. Shout out Pizzarama.
Pizzarama Bayside. Whoa. This dog.
As he knocks over all of our equipment.
Yeah.
That's
Stream
nice.
over.
Stream done. So much for no commercial breaks.
I was trying to think today. Do you remember your first baseball game? I can't. I don't remember my first one. I remember very early games, like going when I was very young, but I
Yeah.
don't remember my very first time.
So I actually have a funny story about this. I don't know if it was my first ever baseball game, but I'm 90% confident that it was. If it wasn't my first ever, then it was like the first or the second. But at the time when I went to Shea Stadium. I went with my parents and my aunt, and we sat like right along the first baseline within like the first couple rows. And I was terrified of foul balls. I was terrified that a foul ball was going to crack me in the head, almost Reese Witherspoon fever pitch style, where she just kind of like slinks over in her chair, has like a second head on the top of her head. I was terrified.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh, yeah, bad job by me. I still got Reese Witherspoon on my head because of your joke a couple weeks ago. Drew Barrymore, absolutely right. And I was terrified of a foul ball. So here I am sitting at Shea Stadium, a place that I would grow to love, hysterically crying throughout the game in fear of a foul ball hitting me in the head.
At what point do your parents just take you back, like?
Take you back, what, home?
All the way back to the back of the...
Well, what happened was I used the excuse that I had to go to the bathroom. That was kind of my excuse to get out of the foul ball's trajectory, even though one never even came close to us. But I used that as an excuse, so I would go to the bathroom and just kind of like hide in there. Terrible.
Hiding from the game, huh?
Here I had these great seats, and I was hiding because of a foul ball. I would kill to be in that stadium right now, sitting along the baseline.
Yeah, right in the dugout.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Push those cardboard cutouts to the side.
Get those out of here. Time to make room for the real thing.
Honestly, I like sitting high. We do this a lot too, just because it's cheap, also. But I like those 400 sections up right above the plate.
I like those. Yeah, you get to see everything.
Yeah,
yeah, you get a good view.
It's one
almost
of the best places to actually watch the game.
Right, almost like where this camera angle is coming from.
Yeah.
I mean,
not that they see it, but
well, yeah, if you're watching the game on SNY, the graphic is covering it. But
above the plate, it's up high.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a section.
It's a great spot.
412 at Citi Field.
We've actually sat there a few times, I think.
A bunch of times, yeah.
No, it's a good spot.
And then, of course, Citi Field has all the great beer gardens and everything like that. Good food.
They do. McFadden's. Big fan of McFadden's. I wish that the Mets, and I don't know if this is a Met issue. I think it is. And something tells me that, something tells me. But there's definitely new ownership on the way for the Mets in the near future. Somebody's most likely going to buy them. They've had bids put in over the last couple of weeks and months, and it looks like Steve Cohen has submitted the biggest bid. But one of the things that I would really implore the new owner, whoever he or she or group might be, is to try to buy out those chop shops around around the ballpark.
And do some kind of like what the Nationals or somebody have?
The
or
Braves.
Wrigleyville.
Specifically, or the Cubs, right. There's a lot of teams that do it now. Buy out those chop shops, rip them all down. It's going to be a project that lasts about 3 to 4 years. And build up restaurants, bars, hotels. If you go to SunTrust Park, it has a new name now for the Braves, but I forget what it is now. But if you go to the Braves' beautiful new stadium in Atlanta, the way that it's set up for them is they've got bars and restaurants. It's almost like a little town surrounding the Chipper Jones has a cutout at Citi Field. They're showing that right now on the air. I'll get into that in a second.
Looks like they're zip tied to the seats.
Yeah, they are.
What a job.
It's a great job. So they don't blow over. I really implore whoever the new owner is to buy out those chop shops if they can, and do everything that they possibly can to build up the area around Citi Field, because I think that there's just so much potential there. It's a beautiful stadium. Look at some of these cutouts that they have at Citi Field. They got
Kelly
Chipper
Ripa,
Jones, Kelly
Ryan
Ripa, and
Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest. These are the people, two people who would otherwise, other than cutout, would never be seen at Citi Field. Never. Chris Mad Dog Russo, Al Leiter, Harold Reynolds, all with cutouts at Citi Field today. Just enjoying the game. Jake DeGrom is rolling. Absolutely rolling. 4 strikeouts in already.
He's doing it all himself.
Killing it.
Typical Jake.
Guy's killing it. Making him look foolish. He is literally, and I know that this is typically the middle of the season, he is literally in mid-season form. You can just tell by the way that the ball's coming out of his hand.
What were we getting at before?
I was going on about how they need to really build up the area around Citi Field.
100%.
There's so much potential there.
Like Wrigleyville, it's awesome.
Wrigleyville's fantastic.
Just a row of bars and restaurants.
Fantastic. Dansby Swanson cracks one to center field. Nimmo settles under it. makes the grab side retired. We get to the bottom of the second at Citi Field.
Nothing immediately next to Citi Field that's even like remotely appealing, you know?
Yeah.
People go to the game, they get right on the 7 line, they leave.
Right. There should be a reason to keep you there and for you to get there early, and they've done that somehow, in some way with McFadden's and the new beer garden that they've put there, which are very good, don't get me wrong. But in the words of one of my favorite Disney movies, The Little Mermaid, I want more. I want more.
Is it all right, whatever.
What?
I'll let that one go. Whatever.
You don't have to let it go. I'm an open book, Billy. You can ask me anything you want. It's a live stream. We're on here for 3 hours.
I Want More. That's from Little Mermaid.
It is. You ever hear the song?
Probably, but come on.
I want to be where the people are. Well, I want more. I want more restaurants and bars at Citi Field. I want hotels. I want restaurants. I want bars. I want all that stuff. Sky decks, beer gardens, breweries. All the things that I love, I want around my stadium.
The Garage Party Podcast.
Citi Field Brewery.
Pub.
I'm in.
GPPP.
Well, this live stream's really gonna have to go over well for us to do that. Really gonna have to go over well. Yeah. We appreciate you sticking with us though. So far.
Yeah, leave us a comment.
Let us know what you think. Yeah, this could be something that we could do more often. By the way, my girlfriend just texted me and wants to know why Mello is not in a Mets shirt.
Because Mello doesn't own clothing, Casey.
Well, she's not happy about that. She thinks Mello should be dressed up for the occasion, just as we are. We wore our Mets stuff. I had to order this. This is all new. My entire outfit today, aside from the jeans and the sneakers, is new.
This is old. I don't even know. Is this Jeff Francoeur?
No, it's Noah Syndergaard.
It's Syndergaard? Okay.
Jeff Francoeur.
I have 2 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One's Francoeur, one's Syndergaard.
Who was Francoeur traded for?
Huh.
Actually, which one was first? This guy was traded for Francoeur.
Was it like Ryan Church?
Yes, nicely done. Yeah. They came in a package deal. It was Ryan Church and Brian Schneider.
It's a pretty straight up trade.
Pretty shitty catcher Brian Schneider was. He's actually the bench coach now.
What?
What's the matter with you? I know. Miller's not happy. Michael Conforto steps to the plate in the bottom of the second inning.
Sit down. Cut the shit. We're streaming. We're broadcasting.
The Mets are live, Miller. We are live. Bottom 2. Conforto settles in. Conforto, had the season begun when it was supposed to, would not be in the opening day lineup.
He's in that cleanup spot today.
He is in the cleanup spot today.
As Melo's still... Melo, shut the fuck up. Get over here. Sit down.
What's the matter with you? What's the matter with him? Did we do something that annoyed him? Did we say something? Is he not a fan of buying out the chop shop?
He might have to go to the bathroom. Which, we're doing it live. You're getting all the nitty gritty.
We'll do it live. Should we take the YouTube people out to walk Mello?
I mean, I can broadcast from my phone.
Oh, that hit him. Right on the toe. Go to first base. Leadoff man on.
First base runner of the season for the Metropolitans.
I mean, that's not true. Brandon Nimmo led off with a hit, but you're close enough. It's a second base runner.
Oh, yeah, they got doubled up. That's how we're at. Yeah.
Get a rally going here. Leadoff man on. That hit him. Take it any way you can get it.
Melo's just breathing his hot breath into my microphone. You may have to keep this going. I may have to just take him out really quick.
I'll keep it going.
You want another slice of pizza?
I'm good. When you come back. Rich flying solo as Mello goes for a shit. Good for you, Mello. You told Billy what you wanted. And you ask and you shall receive. So 1 man aboard here for the Mets, bottom second. Yoenis Cespedes stepping to the plate. What a sight for sore eyes he is. Great to see him back in the lineup. Had double heel surgery, missed almost all of last season. And he's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. But let me tell you something. If he's anywhere close to the player that he can be, he is going to be a huge addition for this Mets lineup. as he will just offer protection to guys like Cano, to guys Conforto. Everybody in the lineup will benefit from a healthy Yoenis Cespedes in the lineup. And he has some reason and some motivation to play well. He does. He has a lot of motivation to play well. He's playing on a contract year. As he pops one up, Alex Jackson, the third catcher for the Braves, goes back, makes the catch one away. Want to give a shout-out to my dog, Jack, who apparently is watching the broadcast along with the rest of you. Just got a text from my mother, and apparently Jack is fully engaged on Mets opening day live stream here for the Garage Party podcast, as he is he's watching. So we have both humans and dogs alike watching the live stream here on YouTube. Again, be sure to shout us out on Twitter. Let us know what you think of the live stream concept that we're integrating today. Again, we're going to try to see if we can get something going for UFC 252 on August 15th. The Stipe Miocic-Daniel Cormier fight. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how today goes. And if you guys respond well to it, we'll definitely try to integrate it more. I think it could be a cool thing for us to do. I think it could be really interesting for us to be able to interact with you guys right on the spot as things are taking place. As Robinson Cano grounds into a double play, and that will retire the side. And we head to the third inning. But like I was telling Billy before he took Mello to the bathroom, I think Citi Field really benefit a lot from a new owner. It seems to me the Wilpons just don't have the funds, let alone to run the ball club, let alone the area around the ball club. I think they would really benefit from a guy like Steve Cohen stepping in to buy them, who apparently, according to reports, has put in the biggest bid for the Mets. It seems like he's buying the Mets and he's trying to buy SNY and all of Sterling Equities, which is everything that the Wilpons own pretty much. Steve Cohen trying to take it all over. I just think that he would benefit a lot if he were able to get those chop shops around Citi Field bought out and just throw some small businesses in there. Throw some restaurants, some bars, some hotels. The area, I think, would just really be that much more appealing if they were able to clean out that area. And they have McFadden's, they have the beer garden, which is great. But, you know, if you look at some of the other ballparks, you look at Wrigley Field, you look at the Braves Stadium, you look at the Orioles Stadium, Fenway. It doesn't really matter whether or not the stadium is old or the stadium is new. A lot of these stadiums are not only building state-of-the-art ballparks, but they're building state-of-the-art communities. And I think that's what a lot of fans would love to see from Citi Field. And hopefully a new owner can step in and get that done. I think that would be great. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's definitely a process. The Mets haven't even agreed yet to a sale from one of the bidders, but it seems like it's getting close. I think a lot of reports have indicated that they would like to sell by the end of July. As Billy is back.
What are you talking about? I didn't leave.
Billy's were you? Yeah.
Been here the whole time.
I've been here the whole time. Never went anywhere.
Mel had to take care of some business.
Is he better now? He's all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's taking care of business.
Former Mets victory song from 2006. Remember that?
Is it former?
Yeah, it's not anymore.
They don't still play it?
No, unfortunately. I wish they would bring it back.
They don't win very much, so.
Well, that could be part of the problem. They just don't take care of business very often.
But Mello has – I apologize because Mello has no courtesy for the broadcast.
No courtesy.
As we're now in the top of the third.
Oh, yeah, bad job by me. I didn't update the inning.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's updated now. First pitch, swing and a miss by Ender Inciarte. I am so impressed by Jacob deGrom right now.
Cruising.
I don't want to jinx it because now he'll give up 9 runs in the next 2 innings, but super impressed by the way that the ball's coming out of his hand after really just an unpredictable summer camp is what they were calling it. They weren't even calling it spring training. An unpredictable summer camp, but really impressive. Really impressive.
To a tough Braves lineup, too.
A tough Braves lineup.
First game.
Yeah, missing a couple guys that we saw last year. Like I mentioned before, they're down to their third catcher who's actually on deck right now, Alex Jackson. Interesting that we're not going to be seeing the pitcher bat this year. That's interesting. So there's really no give. Oh, Inciarte lifts one deep to right field.
Knocked on wood with
Conforto settles under it and makes the grab. That was close to hitting that overhang.
hardest contact made on a Jacob deGrom pitch yet today.
It is, and I told you before when I was reading off the Braves lineup, Ender Inciarte, Met killer.
Taken to the very edge of the right field in Citi Field.
That's right.
Which, did that get bigger again?
Did what get bigger?
Did they back the fence up?
No,
again?
they backed it up a couple. They backed it up a couple years ago.
Last year they did too, but I thought I heard that they backed up one of those bullpen walls again.
Right.
Or at least changed the dimensions of it a little bit.
Also want to give a shout out. Just got a text from our excellent social media manager, Kelly, is currently watching on her way. What did she say? She's currently on her way to Baltimore. The guys and I are watching on our way to Baltimore, and they wanted us to mention that PNC Park, home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, also has a great area surrounding the ballpark, and they could not be more right. That's actually, I should have mentioned that one before. PNC Park, the area around it, beautiful. PNC Park, the whole thing is just fantastic because you got the bridges in the back. The entire, basically, landscape of it is just the city of Pittsburgh. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Good job by Kelly calling that out.
Most stadiums have a better infrastructure around the park than the Mets. Although the Mets park is amazing. I love Citi Field. It's one of my favorite parks.
It's great. It's great. I think it's really one of the better new parks, but it's the area surrounding it, I think, could be a lot better as I've gotten into. But we'll see. New ownership could bring new changes. Hopefully that's one of them.
Coors Field
out there in Colorado.
Downtown Denver.
Beautiful, beautiful town. Colorado as a whole, just Denver as a whole. I love it. It's fantastic.
Smack dab in the middle of downtown Denver, all the bars.
All the bars in Coors. We went there. Had a good time.
Yeah, there's tons of rooftop bars over there.
Tons of rooftop bars. Great
restaurants.
Spot. Yeah. Maybe is it? You think it's a Midwest thing? Maybe it's a Midwest thing. I seem to notice that. I mean, Pittsburgh's not Midwest, but maybe it's just a Midwest. Can't do that in the big city. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with an excuse why they haven't been able to get it done yet. As Ronald Acuna
sneaks
gets the Braves
one right past a little dribbler right past DeGrom's glove.
Right past DeGrom's glove and the outstretched glove of Rosario at short for the first hit of the day for the Atlanta Braves. And now you really start to get into that thick of the Atlanta Braves lineup with Ozzie Albies coming up right now. So we'll see how Jake navigates around this. His first base runner of the day. First time he'll be pitching out of the stretch.
Snap that bat right down
just outside the outstretched glove of DeGrom.
Acuna's got his mask on for running around the base pads.
He does. I guess he's a little worried about where Alonso's been. Interesting that he chooses the base paths to put the mask on. I guess that's when he's closest to somebody else.
I mean, he was just as close to the catcher and umpire.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Alonso rocking the knee highs.
Yeah, he does like that look.
I like it too. The old-fashioned, the roll-ups.
Yeah.
Flash those cleats. He's got some nice little stars and stripes cleats he's got going on too. Got the shift deployed.
Pitch out. Thinking Acuna's going there. Interesting. Okay.
How's he running? Like, this mask, it looks like a bandana, really. Like, it's going to go over his eyes if he tries to slide into second base right now.
Yeah. You think it'll blind him?
One could hope.
That would be nice, right?
For us.
Throw him out because you ran out of the base paths he couldn't see.
It's like in Major League where Willie Mays Hayes slides like 3 feet short of the base
of the base?
Yeah.
Yeah. Falls behind 2-0 to Albies, but the man on deck worries me. Freddie Freeman. Always gives Mets pitching a hard time. For as long as he's been in the league and as long as he's been with the Atlanta Braves, Met pitchers have not been able to get him out.
See, with all those strikeouts, Jake's deep into his pitch count already.
Having a little bit of difficulty pitching out of the stretch.
2 2/3 in. He's got 46 pitches in.
Yeah. What do you think
he's throwing 3 strike balls?
What do you think the limit is going to be now for pitchers with this 60-game sprint? I don't think you're going to have a lot of managers taking a lot of risks a lot of unnecessary risks with guys. So I think you're going to see a lot of guys go 5 innings, maybe sometimes even 4, almost implementing something that the Tampa Rays have made famous over the last couple of years with having relievers almost make starts. I think you're going to start to see a lot of that across the league because guys just don't want to take chances with their high-profile and, most importantly, high-paid pitchers in a 60-game sprint. It just doesn't seem worth it.
Had the Mets not be so injury-riddled with their rotation, I would have said just go to a 6-man rotation, give each man a even 10 starts on the year.
Yeah, I could see that because they went out this offseason, they signed pitching depth. I think that was one of the things that they really wanted to improve. Unfortunately for them, before the season has begun here on July 24th, they've had some injuries. They had Noah Syndergaard going down with Tommy John surgery, and just the other day, Marcus Stroman goes down with a torn calf muscle. Not even strained, but torn. So right away, right out of the gate, they're going to need that pitching depth to really be solid. You're going to need guys like Rick Porcello and Michael Wacha to have a big role in this rotation. And Corey Oswalt, I would imagine, would be a part of that as well. Seth Lugo, an option to be in the rotation, but the Mets decided that they liked him better out of the bullpen. I happen to agree with them. Had a great year last year coming out of the bullpen for the Mets. I'd be interested to see, too, today if we're able to get a first look, aside from the summer camp intra-squad scrimmage games, at Dylan Betances, one of the newest relievers for the Mets.
Yeah.
Who I think is going to have to play a big role coming out of that bullpen because aside from Betances, they just did not make a lot, if any, moves for the bullpen. I think Betances was the only one. They still got Edwin Diaz and Jeurys Familias back there, but let's be honest, both those guys are question marks. As Ozzie Albies flies one out to center field, Brandon Nimmo settles under it, and that retires a side in the 3rd inning, and we'll go to the top of the 4th. So Jake navigates his way around the first base runner of the day for the Atlanta Braves after the Ronald Acuna hit, and we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd.
Bottom of the 3rd.
Yep, as the Mets come to bat. Get our first look here at Ahmed Rosario. First look at, I'm trying to think of the bottom of the.
Let's pull up the lineup.
Pull up the lineup for us. Definitely a first look at Ahmed Rosario for the season, that's for sure. Just an exciting time all around. Wait until next week.
So due up, you got Cespedes, Cano, J.D. Davis, Wilson Ramos, and Ahmed Rosario.
No. So those guys made out last inning. So you got, I think Ramos made the last out.
Oh, I forgot.
Cano made the last out.
I forgot.
Yeah, that's right. Cano made the last out.
So you got J.D.,
yes,
Wilson Ramos, and Ahmed Rosario.
There you go. Get a look at that. Get a look at those 3. Just going to be a really, let me tell you something. Next week and like the first week of August is going to be absolutely wild.
All division games.
I'm talking about baseball, basketball, and hockey all coming back at once. All at once. Going to be
we're starting to see
excellent.
Some NBA. They're doing their scrimmages.
Yep. NHL will have their first preseason. The Rangers will have their first preseason game July 29th, and then things kick off with the qualifier round on August 1st. So locally here in New York, we're going to have the Rangers take on the Carolina Hurricanes, and the New York Islanders will take on the Florida Panthers. Both hub cities for the NHL will be located in Toronto.
Now you're losing all of our listeners.
And Edmonton. Yeah, now they're all tuning out, talking about hockey.
They're all gone. Everyone's gone now.
Hockey really is a niche sport, but let me tell you something. Their fans are just so you literally, and it's cliche to say, you either love it or you hate it. That's the way it is. There's no middle ground. There's no fan that sits there and says, you know what, I'm just going to throw on Winnipeg, Calgary.
Yeah, I would never.
Because I feel like watching it. You either love to watch that or you hate it. I happen to be one of the ones who loves it. Billy happens to be one of the ones who hates it.
I can't follow it.
How come? What are your issues with it?
It's boring, for one.
But you don't find you find hockey more boring than baseball?
1,000%.
Interesting. Okay.
1,000%.
Interesting.
I just don't understand it.
I think if you asked maybe like a panel of 100 people, and again, be sure to tweet at us and give us your thoughts. If you ask a panel of 100 people what sport is most boring, I think the majority are going to say baseball. It's slow. There could be no end to it. It can go on for 19 innings, which can go 5.5 hours. I mean, technically hockey could be the same, but
the concept to me makes more sense.
I mean, the concept for hockey is pretty easy.
It's simple. Yeah, you're running around ice, get the puck in the net.
Yeah.
But then there's all these weird rules, and
There's not really that many weird rules.
there's a bunch of weird rules. Guys subbing in the middle of the play.
Well, you can only have 5 guys on the ice at a time.
Yeah, but they just do it in the middle of the game.
Well, that's part of the strategy. You can't sub while the puck is in your zone. You're going to give up a goal.
See, that's a weird fucking rule.
No. Excellent sport.
Imagine they did that in football.
They do that in football. People sub in the middle, like in between plays all the time.
In between plays.
Well, yeah, but you want to stop
While
hockey
the
every
clock's
time so
going,
we can
like-
get new guys on the ice? Just stop the clock every time new guys come on?
Do something different.
No.
Change that sport.
No. It's
It's weird.
perfect the way it is. It's not going to change. It's been the same way for 100 years. So J.D. Davis struck out on 3 pitches in his first at-bat of the season. As now Wilson Ramos steps in, and he's quickly ahead in the count, 2-0. We'll see what he's looking for here from Mike Soroka, who, much like Jacob deGrom, is starting to settle in. The ball's looking good coming out of his hand. And so far, through 2 1/3, has been able to keep his pitch count relatively low, only at 28 pitches as we stand here
Mets
in the
making
bottom
it
of the
easy
3rd
on him.
inning. Well, he's gotten the help of a couple double plays. So he's gotten 2 ground ball outs that resulted in a double play, which is obviously every pitcher's best friend. So we'll see how Mike Soroka deals from here. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see, not just there's going to be a lot of interesting things with this whole concept of 60 games, of a 60-game season. One of which being the new extra inning rule, adding a runner to second base in the 10th inning. Immediate rally is what they like to call it. I don't know if I like it.
Which I originally thought they were going to do that because they were going to be reusing. One of the proposed things was they were going to be reusing, like all playing out of one park. So that's what I thought. Why I thought they were doing that, to keep the game shorter and whatnot. So I don't really see the purpose of it with this setup now.
Well, it will definitely keep the game shorter. It'll prevent extra innings.
But they could have done that anytime.
Well, I think one of the main priorities, we got a good example of this last night with the Yankees and Nationals kicking off the season, is that they want to get these guys in the stadium and out of the stadium as quickly as possible. They don't want 15-inning games. They don't want 16-inning games. It's a 60-game season. They want to play 60 games, and they want to get out. So what you saw last night with the Yankees and the Nationals was I think it was the top of the 6th inning. It started to rain, and boom, they called it. Over. Game over. Yankees win 4-1. Didn't wait for a window where they could possibly come back and finish it. I think you're going to see that a lot across the league. If it starts to rain and the game is official, they're just going to call it. They want to get these guys out. They don't want them lingering around the clubhouse. They don't want them with each other, breathing in the same air as each other. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be like nothing we've ever seen before, obviously, a 60-game season.
Also swapping the ball out a lot more.
Swapping the ball out a lot more. You're not allowed to high-five. No seeds. No arguing. The manager can't argue with the umpire. None of it. None of it.
Some of them are just preposterous.
Yeah.
Preposterous.
Preposterous. Preposterous. If we were on ESPN on the spelling bee right now, I wouldn't get that little, they have that ding when you spell a word wrong. I think I just spelled it right. Preposterous.
Preposterous. I can't even
I
say
think
it.
I nailed it. But anyway.
Baseball's back.
Get the conch. Baseball is back.
If you're here after seeing our little commercial, leave a comment. We appreciate you checking it out and then following suit.
Yeah, we've really upped the production value of our.
They didn't even see our best one yet.
Here. No, we're gonna get ready to drop that on you this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
We pulled out all the stops for our next promo. Wait till you see this thing. We had spray bottles. We had a third man. We had to hire a cameraman. I mean, granted, we paid him in wings and mules. But nonetheless, we needed him, and he did a great job.
Yeah, I'm excited for them to see this one.
I'm excited to drop that promo. I thought you did a really good job with the baseball promo that we dropped promoting this event, this live stream. I'm excited to see what we can do for the promo for the UFC 252 live stream.
Oh, yeah.
I think we can get creative with that one, right? Really up the production value on this thing.
I got a couple ideas.
I like it.
Cuts back to your
My promo?
your Yeah.
I'm getting better, by the way. You know that? I've been Casey's been trying to show me the ropes a little
You
bit.
gotta get your bag going in the garage.
I know. I got to move it into the garage. I got to start, hammering home. I got boxing gloves. I got everything, Billy. I got them all. I'm ready to throw down.
Okay.
I got a stance. You got to, keep your legs spread apart but your knees bent.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it all covered.
You loosening up a little bit?
You'll see in the promo.
Yeah. That promo's going to be a big one.
That's
May have to
gonna be
hire a
big.
cameraman for that one, too.
Again, Wings and Mules is most likely the form of pay. So,
Food and alcohol.
food and alcohol. It's everybody's elixir.
And we'll give you IMDb credit, too.
That's right.
As
we
I am
move.
behind on the innings.
Top of the fourth, with Freddie Freeman leading off for the Atlanta Braves, and Jacob DeGrom
DeGrom
throws
throwing
a 97
high cheddar.
mile-an-hour fastball right by him. Right by him.
So those triple digits may have just been some opening day jitters and some
Not even
adrenaline.
jitter. I think it was just adrenaline. Yeah.
Yeah, adrenaline. 'cause
97 is where he lives more often. That's
yeah,
where he is right
He hasn't
now.
been cranking it up to
97 just
100.
fine.
since then,
Just fine.
but he's cruising nonetheless. 0-2.
52
Freddie
pitches
Freeman.
deep.
Knock on one over here.
As Freddie bounces one foul. I think one of the other things that we need to talk about here as we look at the Mets, we talked a little bit before about some of the new faces that we might see on this team. One of the new faces you're going to see is the manager, and that's Luis Rojas. And
You'll
I
see
think
part of his face because he's
part of his face.
he's masked up. But
that's right. So you'll only see his eyes. He's a new set of eyes as the manager of the New York Mets, replacing two people actually. Yes, please. Replacing two people actually. Replacing Mickey Callaway and replacing Carlos Beltran. So Carlos Beltran, hired as the New York Mets manager, lasted about as long as a sneeze, as he was fired for his role in the Astros cheating scandal for banging on the trash can that aided them to their World Series victory back in 2017. So that's one of the things I think that's
that's another storyline. You think all this mishmash took away from that whole?
mishmash. I like that. I think it's usually mishmash, but I like mishmash.
It's more of a mash than a mosh, I think.
Okay. Mishmash.
Took away from that whole Astros thing, because I feel like
Do I think what took away from it?
had COVID not happened, I feel like the Astros would be
Absolutely.
like the spotlight and the villains of the
Absolutely.
entire
Yeah.
league.
Absolutely. I think maybe not to this extent, but do you remember when Alex Rodriguez, when it came out that he took steroids, and you would have every ballpark that he went into, you would have like fans holding giant syringes and waving them around.
Yeah.
I think you would have seen that a lot of things. Maybe not syringes, but you would have seen trash cans, and you would have seen people holding up signs. Every time the Astros went on the road, you would have seen that from fans around Major League Baseball. And with no fans in the stands now, it does seem like they're going to get off a little bit easy.
Astros, Yankees. Actually, yeah, they're probably playing each other. I didn't look at the Yankee schedule, but there would be way more bad blood if the fans were in the stand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's going to be really interesting to see when fans come
They're
back.
almost getting off easy.
Hopefully next season. Right, they are getting off easy. I think it'll be interesting to see when fans come back, hopefully next season, if they maintain that level of anger towards the Houston Astros. Or are they just going to be we're just happy to be back in the ballpark?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see, but that's a story for another day. But Luis Rojas, the new manager of the New York Mets, takes over for Carlos Beltran, who was manager for, I believe, maybe a month before he got canned for his role in that scandal. So we'll see how this goes. Luis Rojas interviewed for the job while Beltran was interviewing for it, and they decided to give it to Beltran, but then everything went down with him and some pressure from around the league. They had no choice but to let Beltran go, and Luis Rojas is the guy. Now, you got to give him an opportunity. You can't just write him off because he wasn't their first choice. You got to see how he does. Now, granted, he's going to have to navigate through some very, very tough waters here in a 60-game sprint. He's going to have to manage this team like no manager has ever managed this team before, because no manager has ever had to deal with 60 games before. So it'll be interesting to see how he utilizes the bullpen, how he utilizes the rotation. I think a lot of that's going to be very interesting, and for a first-time manager, going to be very challenging. But we'll see how he navigates it. We got to give him every opportunity to be successful, and hope he gets the job done. But how much leeway do you give Luis Rojas? All right, let's say the Mets don't.
You can't really judge him by this season almost.
I agree. I think that you basically take this season, throw it away, hope for the best. Obviously, if he's successful, that's great. But I want to see what he does. Unless he's just dreadful. But I mean, can you really be more dreadful than Mickey Callaway, who couldn't fill out a lineup card correctly?
Yeah, Mickey didn't do very much well.
No, he didn't. So
except talk to media.
Right. So I think you got to give Luis Rojas the benefit of the doubt. You got to see how he does this season. Hope for the best. But I want to see Luis Rojas manage through a full 162 before I make any judgments.
I agree.
Yeah. A lot of new managers across Major League Baseball this year. You're going to see them. Dusty Baker back in the league. That'll be fun. A couple new managers across the league because of the
Rojas has some history with the Mets, though, right? What was this?
He was there. Yeah, he's been like.
He was like a bench coach or something?
Not a bench coach, but I think he's been like their minor league coordinator for the last like 4 years. He's been associated with the organization, and everybody in the organization has absolutely nothing but high praise for him. Supposedly, he's just great. He gets along great with the players. He, is supposedly like, for lack of a better term, a great coach. He's supposedly really good for the younger guys in the minor leagues who are developing. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, you give him every opportunity to be successful, and we'll hope for the best from Luis Rojas and the Mets this season. But a 60-game sprint, not going to be anything easy to navigate around.
As we head to the bottom of the fourth, still a 0-0 game.
Only 2 hits on the day. One from Brandon Nimmo and one from Ronald Acuna Jr. being the only 2 hits.
Leave us some comments on YouTube, tweets. We want to hear from you. As Rich finishes his lunch for the day. Had to order some pizza. A lot of running around this morning. Delivery guy came right as we were about to start. Right, like, what was it?
4 minutes. 3:56.
Yeah, 4 minutes before first pitch. Good job by him. It's almost like he was trying to get this pizza to us so he can go back to his car and listen to the Garage Party podcast live. Would you agree? Just nod if you agree. You don't have to.
I agree.
But here we are back in the bottom of the fourth. We got top of the lineup coming. Brandon Nimmo up at the plate. Had a single to deep center, his first at bat, and then was victim of a double play from a line out from Alonso.
McNeil.
Was it McNeil? Oh, yeah, it was McNeil. The little curls going back to the dugout. Interesting flow he's got.
Interesting flow. The quarantine flow. I don't think he's had a haircut since.
Which there was a good, 3 months where I was shaving my own head.
I'm still shaving my own beard. So usually I get it done at the barbershop, but now you got to wear a mask at the barbershop. They're not allowed to trim the beard.
I've always done my own beard, but
see, I've never done my own beard, and I don't even know how. So now what I've resorted to is just shaving the whole thing off. I think I'm actually going to do that like today or tomorrow. Anyway.
You have the clippers?
No. Yeah, I have a razor, but it's a razor that's too strong. It takes everything off.
Yeah, just get I have the Philips Norelco clippers, and they're pretty good.
But I don't like clippers or a razor.
So clippers.
See, like a scissor?
No,
That's a razor.
A razor is like
it's an electric razor.
A blade.
An electric razor.
All right, so you just call it something different. I call it clippers.
So what do I got to do? Is it like a certain...
Does it have the things?
Yeah, you can take it off and then attach another one.
Yeah.
But I don't have the other attachments.
Oh, see, that's your problem.
Right.
You got to pick a length you like and just buzz it. I have one that's like an adjustable attachment.
I don't know which...
I just slide it up and down to the length I like.
But how do I know which adjustment I like? Or which attachment I like?
Trial and error.
It's all trial and
error.
Yeah,
start with the biggest one you have, like the longest.
Maybe I'll order that. What is that? Philips?
Yeah, I use the Philips Norelco one.
Philips Norelco, huh?
Yeah. If they want to sponsor us, you see this beard here? See this beard here, Philips?
It's all natural right there.
Thanks to you. Philips Norelco.
There we go. Shot down the line. McNeil trying to stretch it into a double. The throw from Acuna is on time, and McNeil is out. And we'll see if we get the first challenge.
And we're not allowed to argue
of the 2020
with this
season.
Black-faced umpire. Fully, all you see is his eyeballs.
Yeah, he is completely covered. And he should probably stay covered because McNeil looks hot. He's safe.
That's a really That's a really close one. Even in slow motion, let's see here. Yep,
Yeah, he's safe. He's safe.
Almost missed the tag.
And McNeil said it right away. McNeil knew it right away. He said absolutely not.
Almost missed the tag there too.
Are you allowed to challenge in this season?
I mean, you can't argue, so you got to be able to challenge.
Okay, yeah, you can. All right, there we go.
Look at these guys. All you see,
these umpires,
they look like minions.
They do, yeah. All you see is their eyes. That's unbelievable.
See, I have like this type.
See, right
deal.
now, if the cardboard cutout should be screaming, "He's safe!"
I have like this type of deal. It has the nose hair trimmer and all. But mine actually, I have a better one because it has like an adjustable one.
But it's literally trial and error, right? So I just gotta like play around with them.
Yeah, but like I always start with the longest one you have.
How do you know which? So the smaller one is one that would be like less coming off the beard.
Yeah, the bigger thing.
The longer the blade, the more comes off.
Yeah.
All right.
No, the longer the blade, the less comes off.
And he is safe. They just adjusted the call.
It keeps the blade further. It keeps the actual razor. These are like guards.
Was that on Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's better ones too. Like I've had the same one for years now. Like mine has an adjustable one, so that's clutch because I can do multiple parts quickly. As McNeil's at second with one out in the bottom of the fourth. Alonso up.
Opportunity for the first run of the season here for the Mets. And Alonso bangs one into the ground. It's short. And McNeil, trying to go to third, is going to get thrown out. Good heads-up play there by Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, to throw McNeil out at third. I don't know what McNeil is doing there. Play in front of him. He's trying to go to third.
You just got to shake your head at that.
Yeah, that's not a great move.
Did he think there was two outs maybe? Because he was running right off contact.
He was, but
hard.
The play's right in front of him. Swanson had an easy play to just gun him down. Almost got his third baseman.
That's why I'm thinking he thought there was two outs.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Dansby Swanson didn't do Austin Riley, the third baseman, any favors with that throw. Almost got him killed.
Almost missed the tag again. The elusive, the elusive McNeil.
So now we have two outs.
The new hair is very aerodynamic for him. He's just flying all over the base paths.
That's right. So now we have two outs with a man on first as Alonso stands at first base. I'm going to look into this razor. I might have to get this thing. Because I can't just keep...
there may be better ones out there other than that one I sent you.
I can't just keep shaving off the beard completely every time I want to trim it up. That's just ridiculous.
Barreled into him.
Barreled into Riley. Thankfully, McNeil and Riley both unhurt, although McNeil looks a little... All
right, so we got Pete the Polar Bear on first. Got Conforto in the base up at the plate.
Oh, good change up there from Soroka. 1-2 count to Conforto.
He popped out his first at bat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was hit by a pitch.
Oh, he is. That's right. Right in the toe.
That's right. Got him right in the back toe. Good job by SNY getting us the graphics right as
right as we said it.
That's right.
Yeah, good job.
Good job.
Because our broadcast trumps yours, obviously.
Who's winning the Emmys around here? That's Conforto.
Where's our statistician? Hey, Larry.
Larry. No. Who's our? We have somebody. We had a name.
They're fired. It's Larry.
Oh, we got rid of them already?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We got Larry.
They didn't last very long.
We got Susan, who does the graphics.
Okay.
And Carmelo.
And Mello. That's right.
Who's just staring at us because we have the pizza near us.
Yeah. Staring at us with that hopeful glint that he'll get something. Like, please, just give me anything. Crust. Give me something. Please.
As it goes back to licking his crotch.
Guess it's better than the pizza.
Yeah. See if Conforto can make something happen, get back on base. We got the big guy, the big guns.
The 2-2 count to Conforto with Alonso on first base here in the bottom of the fourth. Is banged in the short. Dansby Swanson makes the play, throws over to first side, retired. We head to the top of the fifth.
Just like that.
And just like that, the rally is dead. I tell you what, now man on second with less than 2 outs and they don't score. Now it feels like Mets season, baby. Now we're back. We're back.
Got Mr. Met commercial. Wonder how Mr. Met's doing. No fans, too.
You think he wears a mask?
It's probably more like a T-shirt that they put across his face. His face is huge. Speaking of huge faces, here's one for you guys.
Yeah, I think Mr. Met needs like a car cover kind of thing, like a tarp.
Yep.
You know.
But still nothing over here. Headed to the top of the fifth.
Certainly are. Top of the fifth. No score. DeGrom, once again, getting no run support. It's officially baseball season, Billy.
Where is he at in his pitch count now? Let's look.
First, like mid-50s.
Larry, give me some numbers, please.
Larry, the pitch count, please. Thank you.
Hey, Larry. Larry. I see my Sports Center thing's not giving me. I mean, my intern Larry is not.
You know, this live stream is dangerous. You know, Casey, my girlfriend, just texted me and said, "Save room for scallops for dinner."
It's lunch.
It is. Well, yeah. I mean, it's 5:15 in the afternoon.
I needed to eat because I'm headed to this outdoor movie night tonight.
Well, yeah, that's right. What do you? Well, if the weather cooperates, you know, it's raining right now.
It's actually holding off. I keep checking my email, seeing if they're canceling.
Also, exciting news outside of baseball being back. We have finally acquired the garage.
Yep.
Finally acquired the garage. Billy has turned it into his workshop. He's been working in there for the last couple days, chopping wood. Guys like Paul Bunyan in there. He's chopping wood. He's building tables. So basically, and you know, if you want, you can throw this up on our social media. But Billy's building a table. I think you should post it when it's all done.
Yeah.
Billy is building a table.
I should have like vlogged the whole.
Not
builds,
bad, yeah.
But
could have seen your sweat drenching off you. You change shirts every 10 minutes.
Maybe it's better that I didn't.
Yeah, but anyway, he's building a table that has 2 coolers built into the table. Excellent idea. Let me tell you something. Innovative to the max.
Should be finished by tomorrow, Sunday, something like that.
Agreed.
We also got the barbecue in there.
We got the barbecue. We went last week to pick it up. We went, I think, on what happened to be the hottest day in the history of New York State. It felt like it was about 190 degrees.
It was dreadful. It was absolutely
dreadful. We were lugging this stuff around. We're lugging the barbecue. We got spatulas. We got barbecue covers. We got all the utensils.
Trash cans.
Everything to make this garage really pop, you know, as Jacob deGrom has another strikeout here in the top of the 5th inning. Really, we wanted to turn this garage into everything to just really make it pop. And so far, we have done that. We have a barbecue. We're going to have a table with a cooler in it. I'm going to move the boxing bag in there so I can really, you know, get going, get like Rocky style, just banging the meat.
We're going to have an exercise bike in there.
Yeah, exercise bike, a workout bench. We already have coolers.
We may even, you know, get a little podcast going from there. You may get to see it.
We may. It's possible. We
may get to see it firsthand.
We discussed the schematics of it this week, and it's possible and plausible that we would be able to record
right from our brand new table.
That's right. Right from our brand new cooler table. I think that would be a cool aesthetic.
So if you're a drink sponsor and you want to sponsor us, that's prime product placement in the middle of that table with the ice troughs right in the middle of it.
Yep. Nothing like a trough full of alcohol, huh?
Yeah.
Love it.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Yeah,
so exciting stuff.
Things shaping out to be kind of heavy, though.
What do you mean? The table?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Doesn't really move much.
Yeah,
we pick it up when we sit outside the garage.
I may even add a hole for an umbrella.
Now you're really getting innovative. Back to Home Depot.
Well, just to get.
I don't mind it though. I would actually like it.
I won't even have to go back to Home Depot.
You gonna build your own umbrella?
You don't have to go to Home Depot for an umbrella. Order it on Amazon.
Okay.
Walmart.
Okay. Not bad. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. When he's right, he's
Big
right.
Lots.
Big Lots, yep. Another strikeout
Target.
for DeGrom as he strikes out Dansby Swanson. 2 away here in the top of the 5th.
Say how many that is now? Is that 7?
He's getting up there as there's Jeremy Hefner, new Mets pitching coach.
Where's our statistician when you need him?
Larry.
Susan, would you go wake up Larry? He's fucking everything up.
Unbelievable, this guy.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Go get Larry. Yeah, go get Larry. Go get him. Yeah, I know.
He didn't like
he's
it.
Useless. He is useless. Larry. Freaking Larry.
Tell him what you think about him.
We got the enforcer over here.
2 away here in the top of the 5th. Ender Inciarte lifts one to left field. Settling under it is J.D. Davis. He makes the grab, and the side is retired.
8 Ks by
8 strikeouts
young
so far
Jake.
from Jacob deGrom. 5:20 in the afternoon here on the East Coast in Bayside, Queens. The other games will be kicking off in a little bit under an hour. You have Reds Tigers at 6, but be sure to keep it tuned to us right here on Garage Party Podcast, Episode 9, only on YouTube, streaming exclusively. We want to make sure we make that known, exclusively on YouTube. And we're going to do a couple of these things, these fun kind of live, that's a problem, fun kind of live sit-downs where we'll be able to come to you directly as you watch an event. We'll almost be like we're in your living room with you watching these events. But they will only be on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube page, Garage Party Podcast. I really like the bug you've created for this.
Looks pretty good, right?
I think it looks nice.
Obviously couldn't use logos and whatnot, but
Copyright, but, you know, you got the job done. People know what it is.
and we're live.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're as live can be.
What more could you ask for?
Yep. We're rolling along here, too.
Hour
Is it
16
possible? I
in.
don't want to say anything yet, but is it possible in the first game of the season we could see that new extra inning rule kick in?
I hope not. I got places to be. I got Friday the 13th to watch on a river. Carmen's River in Brookhaven. So, hopefully they just pick up the pace of this game just a little bit. Because I probably only got about another hour or so. Hour 15-ish.
That brings you to about 6:30, 6:45.
Which was probably going to be 7th, 8th inning at this pace.
No, should be later than that, I would hope. Unbelievable.
I mean, yeah, we've
Billy's
had,
leaving us for a river.
We've had no base runners.
Old
It was
man
supposed to be
river.
last week, you know. But got rained out, even though it didn't even end up raining. They called it a little way too early. We got bottom 5, Cespedes leading off the inning as he half swings and gets thrown out.
Not
down
great.
The
good
baseline.
thing though is that Cespedes seems to be running pretty carefreely, which is good to see.
And swinging pretty carefreely also.
That's classic Cespedes. That's how you know he's back.
He quarter swung. He
No,
tried
it's
to
not
check
great.
a swing, made contact anyway, stumbled out of the base pads, and was thrown out. Still rocking that bright yellow sleeve and all the tacky jewelry. Cespedes is back.
Cespedes is vying for a new contract. Definitely not going to be from the Mets, but from some team that could use him next season as a DH. He's got to strut his stuff.
Who is that warming up in the bullpen? I
It was
missed
Seth
it.
Lugo.
Seth Lugo.
Well, there you go. We mentioned it before. If that's not a clear indication of where things are at for this 60-game sprint, I don't know what is. 5 innings in, Jacob deGrom pitching an excellent game, 1 hit, and it looks like he's done for the day.
We don't know that for sure yet because we're not listening to the audio from SNY, but
It certainly appears that way.
he's only 72 pitches in.
1 hit, 8 strikeouts. Yeah, he's done. He's getting the congratulations from his coaches.
All right. I mean, 5 innings, shutout, 1 hit ball. Can't really ask for more.
I mean, you could.
You can ask for 2 more innings
Yeah,
of it,
but you're not going to get it in this 60-game sprint, especially with deGrom coming off a a tight back just last week. Interested to see how far Soroka goes in this ballgame.
He's also cruising.
He is, as Cano lines
one
base
into left field.
One man aboard for the Mets, only their second hit of the day. Cano now joins Brandon Nimmo as the only 2 hits for the day for the New York Mets.
So now Cano, to me, is someone who benefits from the short season, being an older veteran,
Yeah,
But it could also
agreed.
work the opposite because he may be more injury prone and you lose more percentage of the season if you get little injuries. Then we got JD
J.D. Davis will step to the plate here.
with only one out.
1 man on, 1 out, bottom 5. Citi Field. Cardboard cutouts, ecstatic about baseball being back.
I'd be interested to see how our viewers think of doing this for the UFC like we were planning on doing it.
I think they'd like it. I enjoy it.
And then
think it's
obviously
cool.
there's a lot more, time between fights and stuff like that, so it's more
A lot more fill.
banter, and we don't have to do so much play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could just chat.
Yeah, I mean, this was just kind of our test run, so if you're enjoying it, let us know. As JD fouls one off.
But also with the
balls,
UFC,
2
obviously
strikes.
it'll be at 10 o'clock at night, go well into midnight.
Mm-hmm. I think UFC 251 went until around 2 a.m. So.
Yeah. On Yaz Island.
Yaz Island. Tomorrow actually being the last event taking place on Yaz Island, at least for now.
Yeah, probably until September.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll utilize that space again. Went quick.
Yeah, it did.
Went quick. I think what you said when they first announced as JD lines one to center field, is it going to be enough?
Looks like
It
he lost
is
it. Whoa.
not going to be. As Ender Inciarte, who misjudged the wall just a little bit, made the catch, a jumping catch just before the center field wall. An excellent catch by Inciarte. I mentioned it before. He's got a great glove, and he retires J.D. Davis here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 away. Excellent play by Inciarte. Misjudged the wall just a little bit, jumped more than he had to. Probably could have had some more time. Jumped a little early.
Looks like he had lost the sight of the ball
it
for a
looked to-
second, too.
See, he
'cause
can keep running. He doesn't have to
He
jump.
completely changed course on it,
Yeah, that
but he
ball's
was able to run it down.
That ball's well before the wall. He could have kept running. But regardless, makes the play. And Mike Soroka applauds him for it. 2 away here in the 5th as Wilson Ramos steps to the plate.
Making the big guy
And
down at
Ramos,
first base work a little bit. He was probably all the way to – it was Cano actually, right?
Cano at first base. Yeah, Ramos grounds out to third baseman Austin Riley, who fires over to Ozzie Albies at second, and the side is retired. So we'll head to the top of the 6th at Citi Field with no
Soroka,
score.
cruising also.
Cruising also.
They didn't mention if anyone was up in the pen for him, but
Not yet, but we'll see. I think 5 innings might be a cap for a lot of these guys. So, and it looks like we're going to get our first look at the New York Mets bullpen, which, at least for the last couple seasons, is always a worry. Every time you hear that Jacob deGrom's coming out of the game and the Mets either have a lead or do not have a lead or the game is tied, and you hear that Met bullpen is about to get involved, you start to you get a little nervous, just a little nervous, because in the past couple of years, what's come out of that bullpen has not been all that good. Jerry's Familia not having a good season last year, terrible. I've never been a fan of his.
Even when he's good, he's bad.
Even when he's good, he's bad. I've been bashing Familia for years. You and Paul, we have a group chat where we talk about the games and stuff. You and Paul defended him a couple years ago, and I think finally last year you started to creep a little bit closer to my side. I've been saying this for years. The guy stinks. Absolutely stinks.
You were saying
And
like
I'm-
when he was
and I'm
leading
sorry,
the league in saves, you
if-
were saying he sucks.
If the
Which
Familia
'cause-
family is one of these viewers that we have here on the YouTube, I apologize, but
It's not.
let's be honest. He stinks. Stinks. And people, you know what? I saw it all over Twitter the last couple weeks. The last couple months, actually. He's lost all this weight. He's down 25, 30 pounds. And he looks great. He looks fantastic. He's svelte. He's in great shape. But is that going to translate to him throwing the ball over the plate more often? I don't know. If it does, great. But until I see it, the guy stinks. And Edwin Diaz last year, don't even get me started on that.
Diaz was not a fan.
Trash.
Absolutely. terrible.
Absolute trash.
But Familia had that year where he was literally leading the league in saves, but the
There's just
batting
always,
average to the very first guy he
Right.
faced was always like, I think it was like 400 or something.
There's
Like he always got
men
on.
on base. You always have to sweat it out. And I understand that no pitcher is perfect, although, DeGrom is probably as close as you can get. Guys like Kershaw, those guys are as close as you're going to get to perfect. But with Familia, it's just he just loses himself in the middle of an at-bat sometimes, where he can be rolling along, throwing great pitches and great sinkers after great sinker. Then he just loses himself, and he throws 9 in a row out of the zone, and the lead is gone. And that's been the case with Familia ever since he's been a Met. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it, Billy. Sick of it. As Seth Lugo comes out of the bullpen for the New York Mets here in the top of the 6th, so Jacob deGrom's day is officially done. As Seth Lugo will be the new guy and the first guy out of the bullpen here. So we'll see. First look at the bullpen. Got to imagine the Mets' plan, at least going forward here, is the 6th inning will belong to Lugo, the 7th to Betances, the 8th to Familia, and the 9th, hopefully with a lead, to Edwin Diaz. That's probably going to be their plan going forward for the remainder of the season, for the 60-game season. I think that was going to be their plan when they signed Betances. You can flip-flop Betances and Familia in there. I guess maybe you can give Betances the 8th and Familia the 7th, depending on who you have more confidence in, if you're Luis Rojas. But got to imagine that's their plan going forward. Get 5 innings out of the starter, you turn it over to these guys.
This is the top of the Braves order, correct?
No.
The back end of it.
Acuna leads off for them. This is the 9 here. This is Alex Jackson, their catcher.
Yeah,
So Acuna and Albies will follow him. And Lugo begins his 2020 campaign with a strikeout of catcher Alex Jackson.
Don't think he even threw an actual strike.
No.
Had him chase every single pitch.
Yeah, well, Alex Jackson, I mentioned it before, is their 3rd catcher. Their top 2 catchers, Travis d'Arnaud, former Met, and Tyler Flowers, both out with COVID-related symptoms. So they had to dig deep into the well and call up Alex Jackson for this opening day start. As Ronald Acuna Jr., and now the challenge will greatly increase for Seth Lugo as he'll get ready to face Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies and Freddie Freeman, respectively, if the inning gets that far. I think this will be interesting to see going forward. Who seems to have the upper hand, pitchers or position players, in terms of who's more rusty as we kick off the season here? Do you think pitchers are more rusty coming out of the gate, or do you think it's going to take? Do you think it'll take position
I
players?
feel like pitchers are always ready quicker.
Ready quicker. So you think it'll take position players a little bit longer to get their timing down than it will for pitchers to get their
I feel like it's always
arms
that way,
loose
no?
and ready to roll? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a 60-game sprint, and they've only had a couple intra-squad scrimmage games and a couple of workouts before this. Nothing anywhere near a full spring training in months. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, so far, if you're looking at this game as any indication, the pitchers are certainly well ahead of the position players because the pitchers in this
Soroka
game are
and
dominating.
DeGrom look nice and sharp.
They look great. They look great. So it will be interesting. As Acuna fouls one back, 2-2 count. Top 6, no score. Seth Lugo on the mound after a great performance, opening day performance from Jacob deGrom. 5 innings, 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. As Lugo strikes out Acuna. 2 away.
Where are we at? Still bottom 6.
Top 6.
Top 6. How to make technical changes because of our interns aren't doing their job, keeping the score and everything.
As Albies rips one to right, settling under is Conforto, and the side is retired. So a successful first inning of work for Seth Lugo. In the top of the sixth, no score. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth as the Mets try to crack through with the first run of the 2020 season. It'll be interesting to see if it's against Braves starting pitcher Mike Soroka or if his day is done. Now, his pitch count was a little bit lower than DeGrom's was, so they might be able to squeeze one more inning out of him. But it'll be interesting to see if they decide to go to the bullpen, just say 5 innings is enough, you got your work in, and we'll turn it over to the bullpen. So that'll be interesting to see as we come back from commercial break. But so far, you got to like what you see from DeGrom. You got to like what you see from the fact that Cespedes is in the lineup has got to make you happy. Like I mentioned before, he's running freely, seems to be swinging the bat freely, something that we haven't seen from him in a year, maybe more, actually over a year. And like I said, he's not going to have a lot of time to get loose because it's a 60-game sprint, but if you catch some lightning in a bottle like you did with him when they first acquired him, granted that was in 2015, 5 years ago, but if you catch some lightning in a bottle with him where he just gets hot for a 35-game, 40-game stretch, he can carry this team to a division title. Now, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself because he's just coming back, and he struck out today and grounded out to third base, but God, if he just gets hot and like the way that he has been known to get, he's always been a streaky player, even going back to his days with the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland A's, he's always been a streaky player. So you figure if they can just somehow get him hot for a 25, 30-game stretch, he can really carry this team a long way. Just his presence in the lineup is going to help guys like Conforto and Alonso and McNeil. And
it takes a lot of pressure off Alonso having another bat like his.
Right.
Granted, Cespedes never even hit close to 54 home runs in a season.
I don't think he was far off.
He may have hit 40 once. Possibly.
Let's see his career highs for home runs.
What do we guess it is? I'm going to say no more than 42.
His max in a season, 35.
Okay.
So there you go. 35, and that was in 2015, his best year, combined with the Detroit Tigers and the New York Mets.
Has only hit 31.
As Rosario leads off the bottom of the sixth with a base hit. So the Mets will have the leadoff man on, and speedy Ahmed Rosario. We'll see if he can try to do some damage on the base pass against Mike Soroka, as it is Mike Soroka starting the sixth inning for the Atlanta Braves. Most likely that'll get the bullpen cranking for Atlanta here in the sixth. As Rosario leads off with a nice hit on a changeup on the outside corner. Just a good piece of hitting from Rosario going the other way. Shoots one towards the gap, gets a base hit, and the leadoff man is on. We'll see if he tries to steal the base, get something going here for the Mets in the bottom of the sixth.
No mask on the base paths?
Not for Rosario.
That's a little tongue twister. No mask on the base paths.
No mask on the base paths. A little bit.
That could be like a Beastie Boys song.
No mask on the base paths. As Nimmo fouls one off, no balls, one strike.
Just missed that one.
That was a pitch to hit, but he fouled it back. He knows it too. He's frustrated with himself.
Rosario opting with the stirrups also. What is it? What is he wearing? An oven mitt with these
Yeah, it protects the fingers when you're sliding into the bag. You don't jam a finger.
It looks like an oven mitt.
It does.
It looks like a lobster out there.
If he steals a base, I don't care what he's wearing.
And it's not even his dominant hand that he's reaching for the pad with.
That's because he's got it on the other hand, because that's the one he's going to slide into second base with when he steals this bag.
But he has it on his outside. It is his inside hand.
Yeah,
so if he goes to second.
Yeah, it's reversed.
Yeah. I guess you can't wear two of them. can't even put two. It's like boxing gloves. You can't put two of them on without help.
I have to do it when I put mine on. I got to do it with my teeth just to lock it up.
1-1 to Nimmo, 1 on, no out, bottom of the sixth. And a 0-0 ball game. It's been uneventful so far.
Rolling along though, 5:30, an hour and a half after first pitch, and we're already heading towards the seventh. Rolling along. I've watched some games where we're only in the third inning by now.
Yeah, we've been to some games like that too.
Yeah. What was the worst game you were ever at?
I was at the final game of the 08 season.
Oof. I was
Mets Marlins.
Yeah, I was at the final game of the 09 season, the last game of Shea Stadium.
Is that Mets Marlins?
Yeah, it was. Oh, maybe that was 08. We were in the same game.
08.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Mets Marlins.
Terrible.
Glavine gave up like 8 runs.
Oh, no, I was at a different game.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the last game.
Yeah,
it was the last game of Shea Stadium.
I wasn't at the last game of Shea Stadium.
Okay, that's the game I was at, and that's
It was the season before that. Yeah.
probably the worst game I've ever been at by far, because they had an opportunity, had they won that day, to clinch a wild card spot, would have went to the playoffs. Instead, they lost to the lowly Florida Marlins and had to close down Shea Stadium. And the worst part of it all was that they just had this gut-wrenching loss, and they made the fans wait around as Nimmo flies one out to center. Inciarte and Ozuna come towards it. Ozuna is the one who slides under it, makes the catch, one away, as Jeff McNeil will step to the plate. But they made the fans wait around. They were going to do a whole ceremony for Shea Stadium, but they waited to do it after the game. So now you have all these fans who were ticked
like
off.
Piazza and.
No, Piazza was gone by that point.
No, like he came out on the field the last.
Yes, him and Tom Seaver threw out the last pitch at Shea Stadium, and then they threw out the first pitch at Citi Field. So
yeah, they came from the center field.
They came from the center field wall, exactly. So they had the fans wait around for the Shea Stadium ceremony after the loss. They had to wait around for like an hour and 15 minutes for this ceremony, and fans were just ticked off. It was a long afternoon. They lost the game. They didn't get into the playoffs because they had lost, because the bullpen blew it. Going back to my point about how bad the bullpen's been, those were the days of Scott Schoenweiss and Aaron Heilman, a little bit different than Jerry Familia and Edwin Diaz. But nonetheless, a struggling Mets bullpen put an end to their 2007 and 2008 seasons.
Yeah, I was at the final game of that. I think it was 07 or 08, one of those.
I think it was 07, the game you're talking about. He gave up 8 runs in the first inning.
Mets Marlins, Glavine gave up 8 runs.
Dontrelle Willis.
It was freezing cold. Delgado gets drilled in the hand. That was his last as bad as a Met.
That's right.
And that was going for the wild card spot also.
Yeah. Dan Uggla on that Marlin team, yeah. Dontrelle Willis.
The day before, John Maine threw a 1-hitter against the Marlins. Had me going.
He struck out like 14 as McNeil shoots one to center. Inciarte going back on the run, makes the grab. Inciarte really showing off the glove here against the Mets as Rosario retreats back to first base. Inciarte, man, he's always been a good defensive player and a real thorn in the Mets' side for as long as he's been with the Atlanta Braves.
Getting those hammies loose on the opening day.
Starting to make a little bit more solid contact, though, against Mike Soroka here in the 6th inning. Took a little bit while. Maybe he started to slow down a little bit.
Spreading it all over the park.
Yeah.
Ever since that Robbie Cano hit. But yeah, it was, I think it was 08. And the day before, John Maine had thrown that 1-hitter. And Reyes got in like a fight with, forgot who.
He got in a fight with,
was it Miggy?
No, I remember this though. Miguel Olivo.
It was on the, okay. It was on the third baseline.
Yeah. That was Sandy Alomar Sr. was the third base coach, and he actually took the brunt of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the day that John Maine pitched, though. That was the...
Yep, that was the day before.
He had 14 strikeouts, I think. Threw a 1-hitter. Finally gave up his first hit to, I think it was Benny DiStefano? I forget who it was.
Should I pull it up?
You could probably pull it up. It's either Paul Hoover or Benny DiStefano. And it was like a little roller up along the third base line. That was the first hit that John Maine gave up. As Pete Alonso steps to the plate here, quickly with a no balls, 2-strike count on him.
Well, let's see if I can find it. This is really Larry's job.
This is a Larry gig.
Picking up the slack left by him.
You could probably just pull it up on YouTube, honestly. YouTube, shout out to them.
Like they need it.
Exclusively, Garage Party Podcast, Episode 9, Baseball is back. Streaming only on YouTube. As Pete Alonso fouls one along the line, and that's going to be out of play as it absolutely rocks one of the cardboard cutouts in the head. That poor guy rocked him right in the back of the noggin. $86 and your head gets ripped off.
Must have been the 07 season. back a season. Larry, I'm doing your job for you. Amazing website, though, right?
Baseball reference? Yeah, it's excellent.
Unbelievable.
They know everything. Everything. Anything you want to know, stats-wise, all the references.
I'm pulling
Baseball
up a box
reference,
score from
hockey reference,
13 years ago.
Basketball reference, football reference. They're all just super accurate. I think it's Benny DiStefano or Paul Hoover.
Paul Hoover.
There you go.
Backup catcher.
Yeah.
After Olivo got ejected.
Yeah. There you go. Paul Hoover with the first hit of the game. It was a little dribbler up along the third baseline. Ended John Mayne's no-hit bid. Probably the best game John Mayne ever pitched as a Met.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Where is his pitching? 7 2/3. I thought it was a complete game. I guess I forgot it.
No. 14 strikeouts, though, right?
14 strikeouts,
Yeah.
only 2 walks, and 1 hit.
So good. So good. They've actually had a couple of that back-to-back years.
I don't even know who these guys who came in for him are. Willie Colazo,
Yeah.
Carlos Muniz.
Yeah, I remember Carlos Muniz. I don't remember Willie Colazo. He must have been a September call-up. And judging by his 6.35 ERA, he probably didn't last much longer than that.
And even Muniz has 7.71.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, Met bullpen. But they won that game, so that was nice.
Yeah, but I was at the game the following.
And that was September 29, 2007. And then the following year, if you want to look it up, 2008, they played the Marlins again in a game that they absolutely had to win. And Johan Santana threw a complete game one-hitter.
I could pull that up as well.
Yep.
See, here's that game I was talking about. 1-8. Tom Glavine met the loss.
As Pete Alonso strikes out on a good slider out on the outside corner. Side retired. So we head to the top of the 7th. Still no score. The Mets leave one runner on. Rosario on first base. Gets no further than that. And we head to the top of the 7th.
Let's go back to our stat dive because Larry is useless.
Useless.
So that final day of the 08 season we were looking for, is this the game you were at? 4-2 loss?
4-2 loss. Yes, it is. The last game. That was the last game at Shea Stadium. I was there. Yep. I remember Carlos Beltran hit a home run to tie the game. I remember that specifically. I remember it was off Scott Olson. Yep.
Doing good so far.
Mm-hmm.
Was it in the 6th inning?
And I
1 on, 1 out?
I believe, yeah. Well, I can see
Over-
it now,
over
but
left field.
I also think, if I remember correctly,
Unbelievable.
yeah, I know. And if I remember correctly, the last out of the game was recorded to, I think it was a shot to dead center. I don't know if you can look that up. That might be a little hard to.
I have to do the play-by-play, but yeah, I can pull it up.
Last out of the game was a fly out to center field that went right to the wall and gave a lot of Met fans hope, and then it was caught, I think, by Josh Willingham.
It's actually not showing me who catches it. It's just showing me the pitcher, right? Lindstrom would be the pitcher.
Yeah. Okay, Matt Lindstrom, yeah.
Right? Is that the batter? It was a Ryan Church hit, and it was
Yep.
oh,
yeah.
it was against Ali Perez that game.
Yeah. That's right. It was Ryan Church up at bat. Last out at Shea Stadium. I think, actually, the person who blew that game for them was, I think it was Luis Ayala.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
He gave up a. Wait, where did those runs come from?
So we kick off the top of the 7th here in 2020 as we take a look back at 2008, September of 2008. But as they show Mike Soroka getting the handshakes from his team, he is done for the day. But in 2020, New York Mets, top 7, Seth Lugo still on the mound for the Mets as he takes on Freddie Freeman leading off the 7th inning. So not electing to utilize Betances or Familia out of the bullpen just yet. Electing to go to Seth Lugo, at least for another batter here in Freddie Freeman. See how much longer they elect to use Lugo.
Keep the righty on lefty matchup.
That's right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I am wrong, because there it is right there in the scorecard. I was going to say, I don't think there's been many walks today. I haven't seen a lot of walks. I think that's why we're moving along so well here.
Yeah. Not a lot of action on the base paths at all.
No. A lot of swings and misses, too. I think you'll see that a lot for the first couple weeks of this season, as the position players try to get adjusted to Major League pitching that isn't their own teammates as they face in the inter-squad games.
Speaking of adjustments, the Mets have a heavy shift on.
On Freeman, somebody who has been noted to hit into the shift quite frequently as he hits into it right there. And an excellent play on a hop by McNeil, fires over to first and gets the first out of the inning. That's why you put the shift on, as Freddie Freeman has been known to hit.
He didn't even have to move for that ball.
Yeah, just as you mentioned the shift, good job by you. Freeman bangs right into it. And a good play on a tough hop right in front of him by Jeff McNeil.
Went all the way up into his waistline.
Just missed his...
the jewels.
The jewels. The McGiblets.
Here's Ozuna with that awful scarf of a mask again.
That's right. Not wearing it, though. Wearing it around his neck like a scarf. Seems
he's got a lip or something. You said the seeds and all that are banned, right? Maybe it's just bubble gum?
Seeds
What's in his mouth
are... They might be hiding it. I don't know. Seeds are technically banned. You're not allowed to spit them.
He's got a mouthful of something.
Which, by the way, with all these players being on top of each other as they are, do you think spitting of the seeds would really contribute to the coronavirus? Do you think we're taking this a little bit too far?
I could see maybe in the dugout, but out in the field, like the center fielder can't just chew on some David sunflower seeds.
Well, then what happens when the center fielder for the Mets runs out there, as Ozuna lines one down the left field line? That'll be an easy double.
Slide into the center field grass.
What
are the odds that he slides in the sunflower seeds?
Not even that. What if he steps on the shells and then ties his shoe? I'm just trying to go through the thought process of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
It's tricky. Those germs have a way of climbing up your
Like we
shoelaces
said,
into your mouth.
It's gonna be a strange season. So, as Ozuna has a one-out double for the Atlanta Braves here, as they try to get their first run of the game.
Didn't pull his mask up though.
Did not. Still not wearing it. Still electing to use it as a scarf rather than a face covering.
He's fashion forward for sure.
As now Matt Adams will step in. Adams, who was with the Mets just a couple weeks ago. Released, did not make the team, picked up by the Atlanta Braves, and he's in their opening day lineup. As that ball gets away from Ramos, and Ozuna will move on down to third. A bad job there by Wilson Ramos, misplaying the ball, and the Braves have a runner at third with less than 2 outs. We'll see if Matt Adams can drive him in for the first run of the day. You got to catch that ball.
Barely so.
Got to catch that ball. That's a misplay by Ramos. And it cost them as runner on third now with 1 out.
That was a big drop for Lugo.
Yeah. Adams with the infield in. McNeil electing to take it himself. So the Mets choosing to bring the infield in here in the 7th inning. And it works. They bring the infield in, ground ball right to McNeil. He takes it himself to first base, 2 away. Ozuna not even able to move off the bag. Couple nice plays here in the 7th inning by Jeff McNeil. Absolutely textbook.
Once again, barely having to move his feet. So the scouting report on the back end of this Braves lineup seems to be on the money.
That's right.
Or the front end, rather.
Now we'll see. Now, if I'm Lugo here, who's electing to face Austin Riley, the third baseman, interesting decision with the third catcher for the Braves on deck, Alex Jackson. Now, Austin Riley, he struck out twice today, hasn't looked particularly good at the plate. But an interesting decision not to walk Riley to get to Alex Jackson. who before Travis d'Arnaud and Tyler Flowers had COVID symptoms, was not even supposed to be on the team. So interesting decision there from Luis Rojas, as Jackson quickly down in the count 0-2 to Seth Lugo, who throws a fastball right by him at 93 miles an hour. And the 0-2 pitch from Lugo, top 7,
cardboard
on
cutouts
third.
are going to get a little attention for the 7th inning stretch.
You think they should stand them up?
Yeah, give them a little wiggle.
Okay. Should we stand up?
We can.
Okay.
Should we play some Billy Joel or something?
No, I think.
Counts 2-2 now.
2-2 to third baseman Austin Riley, as Chipper Jones' cardboard cutout looks on from the
getting a lot of attention.
Third base side of the dugout.
A lot of attention.
In a good spot, too. Chipper's got a great seat here at Citi Field today. 2-2 to Riley. Inside, 3-2. I think Lugo trying to be careful with him, but he got ahead of him 0-2. You'd hate to lose Riley here, even though you actually, my mistake earlier on, I said Alex Jackson was on deck. It's actually Dansby Swanson. So my mistake there. And the 3-2 from Lugo to Riley is fouled off. Boy, in a game like this,
aggressive pitch there, going high and in.
One run just seems so important.
With the only potential run of the game, 90 feet away from you.
That's right. Lugo huffing and puffing out there in his second inning of work, approaching 30 pitches. The pitch he throws here will be his 30th pitch of the afternoon. 3-2 to Austin Riley. Is in there for strike 3, looking. Austin Riley never took the bat off of his shoulders. He has a little word for home plate umpire. And Seth Lugo, 2 successful innings of work. Mike Soroka will walk away today with nothing more than a good performance without the W as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning and the 7th inning stretch. And they don't seem to be raising the cardboard cutouts. It looks like they're not going to be able to rise. But Billy, we can rise. Let's rise for the 7th inning stretch.
Are we still on camera? Let's look.
We're not. Okay.
Cut off, but
it's all right. I figured, a
little stretch.
A little stretch of the legs.
Need something to drink? Would you like
take a water.
You're gonna get us ripped off YouTube now. The copyrights.
All right, now it feels like baseball season. We're standing up, and Lazy Mary is playing. C'è la luna mensumare. There we go. 7th inning stretch. Baseball back. Feels nice. Feels nice. And if you're just tuning in, it's the 7th inning stretch. My crotch is not talking. We're stretching the legs. All right. There we go. Well, we head to the bottom of the 7th as the New York Mets will try to score. Billy, thank you for the water. All right. Who's ready to roll? We're coming down the stretch here, Billy. This is prime time right now. Prime time baseball season right here.
Game's cruising.
Mid-season, mid-July, game 1.
Melo's ready.
Melo's ready. We got our waters.
Wet the pipes.
We're stretched. We're good to go. We're fed. We've had pizza. We got drinks.
Gotta live alive.
We got baseball.
Live broadcast.
We got basketball and hockey coming back next week. We got football on the horizon in a couple of weeks.
We got to get our verdict picks in today, too, for Till versus Whitaker tomorrow. So follow us on Verdict if you're an MMA fan.
And shout out Verdict MMA. They retweeted our post. They retweeted Garage Party Podcast Episode 8, the section of us talking about how good of an app they are. So shout out to them. Thanks to them for doing it. We're actually going to try and arrange a call with the Verdict MMA people, see if we can get kind of a sponsorship going, maybe for UFC 252.
A little partnership for our next live stream on the agenda.
Little collab. So right now we want to make sure you guys know about it. August 15th, UFC 252. We hope you'll join us. And we're going to try to do a live stream for that day and see how it goes. But today being a trial run, I love what we've done here. I think this is really good. As Billy turns on the AC, getting a little hot in here. A little warm.
Midday.
It's midday, approaching 6 p.m. here in Bayside.
Humid day out there. So
certainly is.
It's getting a little warm here in the studio, a.k.a. my living room.
That's right.
You'll notice bright lights.
You'll notice we don't have the Garage Party Podcast logo behind us today, and that's because we have moved things to the living room for the live stream so that we can watch the game on the big screen and be sure to bring you all the action properly.
It's going well so far.
So far, so good as we approach the bottom of the 7th inning here, as the Mets will try to gain a lead for the first time today, score the first run of the 2020 season. Still awaiting that run. So we'll see if the bottom of the 7th brings it about for them. This will be
as they pan
a tale of the bullpens.
7 lines. What is that, like 90 to 100 cardboard cutouts?
Yeah, so out in center field, the 7 line has bought a lot of cardboard cutouts for themselves. So
killing trees. They are killing trees.
So as Chris Martin now, the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, steps in, he'll face Michael Conforto here in the bottom of the 7th. So we're officially into that Braves bullpen as Mike Soroka's day is done, and the first pitch to Conforto is flied out to center field, where Ender Inciarte settles under it, makes the grab, one away.
It's even dusting the rust off for the cameraman, too, because if you were just watching it, not listening to it, you would have thought that was gone for sure, the way he panned all the way up into the sky.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to get used to it. It's back. Baseball's back. Listen to the conch. Everybody's getting used to it. Cameramen are getting used to it.
We got Betances
Players
up in
are
the bullpen.
getting used to it. We got Dylan Betances, the new Met reliever, up in the bullpen. It seems like the 8th inning will be his, as Yoenis Cespedes steps in here with one away in the bottom of the 7th.
I'd like to see a little action from Cespedes today.
You know, I would like to see him show off some of that pop. And there it is. He launches one to deep left field. It is gone as Yoenis Cespedes announces his return to the lineup in style. In the bottom of the 7th, he puts the Mets in front 1-0. He raises the apple for the first time in the empty Citi Field, and the New York Mets take a lead on a 364-foot bomb off the bat of Yoenis Cespedes. Absolutely crushed it, and the cardboard cutouts go crazy.
I was waiting on the, it's out of here.
It's out of here. Well, I can't do that. That's Gary Cohen, so we had to have a different one as he gets a standing ovation. No high fives allowed, but they don't care. They're giving it to him anyway. COVID or not, they're celebrating. They're jumping on him. They're dancing on Yoenis Cespedes. He announces his return in grand style as the New York Mets take a lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wow. Just had to get into that bullpen, Billy. Soroka out of the game, and Chris Martin left a hanger for Yoenis Cespedes.
Every piece of his weight into that ball.
Every piece. That is a classic Yoenis Cespedes home run. Classic. That's
Pulled
what we
it
saw.
Right down the line.
That's what we saw from him when he was healthy. Look at the bat flip, the trot around the bases. He looks healthy. I said it before. He is running freely. The bat is flowing freely. That he looks like he's back in midseason form as we sit here on July 24th, opening day, as Robbie Cano steps to the plate with one away in a 1-0 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th.
As Lauren's getting home from work and walking into our living room transformed into a television studio.
A live stream television studio. As Robinson Cano down in the count 0-2 to Chris Martin here in the bottom of the 7th. She's impressed with our studio. She likes what she sees.
As long as there's pizza, she's okay.
Yeah, you got Mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, we didn't even touch the mozzarella sticks.
You got it all over there. Dive in.
She's going for that first.
Go for those.
Mind throwing me one, too? How do you not high-five the man?
You
after
have
that?
to. I mean, come on. Come on. So excited for the guy. His first game back in over a year, and he launches one in classic Yoenis Cespedes style.
A little soggy. Since 4:10.
Yeah, that's about right. All right. Now the Mets got a lead. Now it'll be fun, Billy. Now we get to watch Betances and Edwin Diaz go to work.
Oh, boy.
Would like a little bit of insurance.
The cutouts are going wild.
You know, the cutouts, you got to give him credit. No matter how the game is going, as Robinson Cano strikes
They
out
stay
for the
even
second half of
keel.
an inning.
They don't change
Even
their facial
keel.
expression.
Even keel. Those facial expressions have not changed. They have just been so excited that baseball is back. Big, giant smiles on their faces have not changed the entire afternoon. It's amazing. It's amazing. Good for those people. Constantly happy. You know, it's going to be really interesting.
Bladders of steel, too. No,
You know-
I haven't seen anyone go up to go to the bathroom.
As Justin Wilson now getting loose in the Mets bullpen. So perhaps we'll see Justin Wilson come in to face a lefty, and then perhaps we'll see Dylan Betances make his official debut with the New York Mets. As J.D. Davis steps up to bat here in the bottom of the seventh with 2 away. It's going to be really interesting to see, Billy. You know, at some point in these 60 games, there's going to be a game where the Mets are going to be down like 11-0, and you're going to see those giant smiling faces in the background. It's going to be a little weird.
Is it all season they're keeping
They're
those?
there all year, I think, yeah. Now, my question is, what happens in the rain? Do they bring these cardboard cutouts in
they gotta be.
after every game?
They got to be plastic or something. They can't actually be.
Cardboard?
Yeah. Got to be either laminated or some sort of plastic,
Mm.
like a lawn sign.
Interesting. I see they're all tied down. See how they're tied down?
Yeah, they're like zip tied to the seats, like
Yeah.
hostages, as most Mets fans often feel like.
That's right. Oftentimes you're sitting there and they're down 7-0 in the second inning, and that's
That's
exactly how you feel.
Stockholm syndrome at its finest.
You feel like you're zip
Big
tied to
smile.
the chair.
Big smile.
As J.D. Davis takes the ball up high, 1-2.
What is this we got in the
New
right
addition,
field? Is it
there.
right center field?
Yeah, helping the world keep promises. Old Dominion, a new addition to the right field hangover there above the bullpen.
Got a tractor trailer.
Very interesting. Aim for that, JD. Let's go. Let's get some insurance here. Aim for the 18-wheeler.
Digging off the side. Speaking of insurance, I hope that truck has some.
Yeah, that could definitely get hit a couple times this season.
From somebody like Alonso.
Alonso can aim for that.
Maybe Cespedes if he decides to go opposite, which he rarely does. Robbie may hit it once or twice.
2-2 to J.D. Davis here as he fouls one back.
Big run by Cespedes in a game that's going this way with very little offense. Bottom 7, 2 out. J.D. Davis, even count at 2-2.
As Chris Martin gets set to deliver his 14th pitch of the afternoon here in the bottom of the seventh. And it's a changeup that sits just low, full count now, to J.D. Davis.
And if you're just joining us live on YouTube on the Garage Party Podcast, this is officially episode 9.
You are officially
We won't
watching
have,
episode 9.
We won't have a traditional episode this week.
We figured we would put all of our bags all of our eggs into this one basket as J.D. Davis bangs one down to third base. Austin Riley makes the play, makes the throw over to Freddie Freeman at first, and the side is retired. But not before Yoenis Cespedes announces his return to the lineup in fashion, in absolute fashion. He slams one into the left field, empty bleachers, bangs off a couple chairs. Not one fan was there to go for the ball, but it still counts. 1-0 New York Mets heading to the top of the 8th, where we'll see Justin Wilson make his 2020 season debut, and perhaps even see Dylan Betances make his debut as a New York Met.
Think the ball's still there?
I don't know. A lot of foul balls to be had for nobody this year, right?
Like someone can go get it, but they probably have to, put on like a hazmat suit just to touch it.
Just to touch the ball, right? Yeah. They should do something with those balls for charity or something this year, right? Like for every foul ball, they give it to an orphan or something, What do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Because that'll cure all their blues.
A foul ball.
A foul ball
from the Mets.
This was hit
from
by
J.D. Davis.
This was hit by third-string catcher Alex Jackson on July 24th. Here you go. What do you do with it now? That's when the orphan throws it at the glass and shatters the window into a million pieces. Exciting stuff. Baseball's back. Baseball's back?
Baseball's back.
Baseball's back. You think that there's ever going to be another instance where we can break out the conch? Or the conch?
I would like to say yes.
The glaunch? Is that what we should call it?
The glaunch?
The glaunch?
I feel like we can use many things as a conch.
Yeah, there's plenty of things you can blow into.
Yeah. It's more about the tone, It's not the device.
You're right. It is all about tone.
It's from the pipes. It's from magic from the pipes.
Agreed.
Not all gloves can make that noise, but that one did that day because baseball was back.
That's right. And I heard it all the way from my apartment. And I ran to the window, and I saw you blowing it. Ran to my closet, got my Conforto jersey, who's done absolutely diddly today.
Bought your railroad ticket.
Andres Gimenez coming in for, a lot of substitutions here. A lot of substitutions. Nimmo moves over to center. Nimmo moves over to left. Jake Marisnick makes his Mets debut. And making his Mets debut, one of their top prospects for the last couple of years, is Andres Gimenez.
So I imagine they switch Cespedes to the DH?
Yeah, Cespedes has been the DH all day long.
Oh, he wasn't in left?
No. J.D. Davis was in left.
J.D.
So
okay,
J.D. Davis, I think, is out of the game altogether.
Seat.
Yeah. These are all defensive maneuvers. Jake Marisnick. See, that's not nearly as bad. We almost thought we had a live stream catastrophe there as Lauren comes in and announces that Billy forgot to flush the toilet again. We've been over this. You have a sign now. You got instructions.
I thought it was just for number 2s.
It was very clear. That's right. Everybody seems to be on the side of just flush it regardless.
Nah, who cares?
Unbelievable.
Why she got to come out here like that?
Call you out on live stream?
Yeah. Doesn't you know we're live?
Are you kidding me? I would have done the exact same thing. After everything you've put her through, you're going to do that on a live stream.
Maybe I planned it for content.
You planted it there?
Yeah.
You wanted it there?
I didn't even actually pee in the bowl.
Oh, you didn't?
I just, put a little dye in there.
Well, that makes no sense. Why didn't you just pee in the bowl?
Because I didn't have to go.
It's unfortunate. As Dansby Swanson loops one over to right field, it falls in fair play. Conforto gets it on a hop, and Dansby Swanson will be on with a leadoff single against Justin Wilson here in the top of the 8th inning. So immediately the Braves have something cooking here in the 8th inning as Dansby Swanson leads off with a single. It'll be interesting to see.
Good piece of hitting getting to that pitch, high and tight.
Yeah, high and tight. Just kind of got it off the tips of his fingers and just kind of nubbed it out to right field where it landed just fair and bounced on a hop to Conforto, who played it on a hop. As now Adam Duvall will come in as a pinch hitter for catcher Alex Jackson. Adam Duvall, as the Braves bullpen gets cranking with former Met Darren O'Day and former Yankee Shane Green. A couple of former New York guys in there.
Braves have one on, no out.
One
Top
on,
of the
no
eighth.
out. Justin Wilson on the hill.
See
Trying
if
to
they can answer back to Cespedes' bomb to left field the previous inning.
That's right. Interesting we're not seeing Betances here. There must be something in the numbers that Luis Rojas sees with Justin Wilson facing these guys, because he's not facing lefties. He's facing righties. So Justin Wilson, your lefty specialist, has come in and faced two right-handed batters. Very interesting that we're not seeing Betances here.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's
See if it pays off for him. Yeah. So far it hasn't, as a leadoff single from Swanson.
And a ripped ball at that, too.
Yeah, there's a little nubber. Off the fingertips. I didn't get all my stretching in there on the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, you're starting to sound a little tired over here.
I'm a little stressed.
losing you?
It's a 1-run lead in the 8th inning, and there's a man on for the Braves with nobody out. A little stressed. As Adam Duvall bounces one foul to count 1-2. The Mets beginning a stretch of 14 games in a row without a day off. They'll play the Braves 6 times in that stretch, and a 4-game series with the Boston Red Sox, both 2 in Citi Field and 2 in Fenway Park. As the 1-2 count to Adam Duvall is high and outside, 2-2. And the 2-2 count to Adam Duvall here in the top of the 8th from Justin Wilson is called off for time by Duvall at the plate, just as Justin Wilson began throwing the pitch. Late call
that they gave to him.
Late time granted there by the umpire. Justin Wilson not a fan of it at all.
Looks like Ramos may be giving a little lip to the umpire also.
Not allowed to argue, Billy. Pandemic. Boy, that guy out in center field's got a huge noggin. Look at him out there in the center, out last row. Huge head.
Looks like he's waving at me.
The 2-2 to Duvall is bounced foul. Duvall giving a good accounting of himself here against Justin Wilson, making him work a little bit.
How many baseballs do you think they're going through today?
Well, I actually read that there's a new rule where they can't use the same ball anymore, again, because of the pandemic, for more than like 5 pitches. It beats the hell out of me. I don't understand. If the ball is not put in play, I don't understand what the difference is. But there's a new rule now this season. I'm not sure of the numbers. You can look it up. But they're not allowed to use the same ball for more than less than what it would normally be. As Duvall swings and misses at a fastball,
what happens to these balls? Are they just discarded? Or
I guess. Burned?
Sanitized somehow? Can you sanitize a baseball?
I don't know. Seems like a waste of, what's used to make a baseball? Rawhide?
Yeah.
Seems like a waste.
Leather?
Leather and rawhide.
I'd imagine it's not real leather anymore. Some sort of
Yeah.
man-made synthetic. What are you looking for?
Mello is back. Getting a little antsy here for the top of the 8th inning. A 1-run game for the Mets and Braves.
Go get Larry.
The Mets with the 1-run lead on the home run by Yoenis
It's a 1-0 game. We need our statistician.
We need a statistician. So now Johan Camargo steps to the plate for the Atlanta Braves. Quickly ahead in the count, 1-0, is Justin Wilson approaching 10 pitches in this inning. Still no Dylan Betances. I wonder if something is ailing Edwin Diaz. Perhaps he's not available today, and they're saving Dylan Betances for the 9th. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe Dylan Betances felt something twinge in the bullpen. Don't want to speculate at all, but seems odd that he wouldn't be in the game at this point. Seems like this situation here, a 1-run ball game in the 8th, is exactly why they signed Dylan Betances. So I find it odd that he's not in the game, but perhaps there's a word on that. We can check on Twitter where he is, or if anybody's heard anything. 1-1 pitch to Camargo is low, 2-1. 2-1 pitch to Camargo is chopped to Jimenez at second base, who makes a nice play going back on the ball. Dansby Swanson advances to second base, 2 away. But now a base hit can tie the game for the Atlanta Braves.
Not finding anything on Betances on the Twitter
Neither
sphere.
Neither am I. I see some fans that are questioning where he is, trying to figure out why Justin Wilson is in the game right now instead of Betances. And so this will be the real test for Justin Wilson on this afternoon. Tying run at second base, and the MVP of the league last year, Ronald Acuna Jr., steps to the plate with an opportunity to tie the game or give the Braves a lead here in the top of the 8th. The first pitch to Acuna is high, ball 1. Ozzie Albies, talented second baseman on deck for the Atlanta Braves. Signed a massive contract extension last year. Didn't get nearly what fans thought he was worth. Seems the Braves got a bit of a discount on that deal, but still got paid a decent chunk of change nonetheless, as the 1-0 pitch to Ronald Acuna hits the inside corner, 1-1. You can always tell we're getting a little bit more stressed with the game. The banter slows down. The heartbeats raise a little bit. The twitching as Edwin Diaz. Now you want to talk about heartbeat racing. Edwin Diaz getting loose in the bullpen for the Mets now.
The fans, however, look cool as cucumbers.
Cool as cucumbers. I admire it. As Ronald Acuna swings through the 1-1 pitch, 1-2, Justin Wilson 1 strike away from getting out of this mess in the top of the 8th inning. So it seems as though if you're not sweating already here in the 8th inning, holding a 1-run lead, Edwin Diaz in the bullpen, you certainly start to see the beads of sweat start falling down your face pretty quickly.
As Wilson punches out Ronald Acuna Jr.
Out Ronald Acuna looking. The 3rd strikeout of the day, I believe, for Ronald Acuna.
Missed his mark there, too, by a considerable amount.
Yep. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Side retired, heading to the bottom of the 8th. The Mets still with a 1-0 lead on Yoenis Cespedes home run, as the Mets will try to get him a little bit of cushion here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Try to get Edwin Diaz a little bit of wiggle room, which, if we're going based off of last year, is something that Edwin Diaz requires plenty of. Did not have a good season last year. The big prize trade that brought him to New York, along with Robinson Cano for prospect Jared Kelenic, prospect Justin Dunn. Big trade the Mets made last offseason did not pay off for them in year 1. Edwin Diaz was terrible. Between giving up way too many home runs, he walked way too many guys, a high ERA, Robinson Cano, a shell of his former self at this age now at second base. It'll be interesting to see if Edwin Diaz can potentially right the ship after a really slow season last year. Going to be very interesting to see if Edwin Diaz can get back on track. His years with Seattle, very successful. Had 54 saves one year, was excellent. That's exactly what the Mets thought they were getting when they brought him on board. They thought that they were getting a stud closer that they could replace, almost get a guy like they had when they had Francisco Rodriguez here, when they got him after his 75 save season with the Angels. But it just didn't work out that way last season for Edwin. So we'll see if the Mets can get him some padding here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And it seems as though Edwin Diaz will take over in the 9th inning, trying to get the first victory in a pandemic-shortened season for the New York Mets that will span 60 games. Every game so important this season. Can't afford to lose too many of them. You want to make sure you get off to a good start. Leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room towards the back end. If you're able to get a quick 25 wins maybe in the first 45 games, you put yourself in a good spot, especially with the expanded playoffs that the Major League Baseball just instituted last night. 16 teams will now make the playoffs. If you missed it from before, the top 2 teams in each division will make the playoffs. And then the 7 and 8 seeds, the teams with the top record, outside of the top 2 seeds in the division, will also make the postseason. So the Mets have a chance. They just got to make sure that they able to lock down victories, a lot like this one. They got to be sure that they're able to lock down the ones that they have a lead in the 9th inning with a guy that they spent a lot of assets on 2 years ago.
Especially to a team that, as we said before, might possibly be the leader, one of the leaders in winning the league this year.
That's right.
And definitely the division.
That's right. Well, this whole season now, the 60-game season, they're going to play each team in their division 10 times. The Mets are going to play the Braves 6 times in the first 15 days. So
as Ramos
pops one up, no
baseman.
problem there for Freddie Freeman. Gold Glove first baseman Freddie Freeman makes the catch, one away here in the bottom of the 8th on one pitch. As that will bring Amed Rosario to the plate. Amed 1 for 2 today. Had a single to right field in his last at bat. Was unable to move from there as the Mets stalled, getting him around the bases. And I tell you, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself because we're still in the 8th inning and we still got to sit through an inning of Edwin Diaz. But what a feel-good win this would be for the Mets on opening day if they can get it done. Baseball being back, you get 5 really great innings from Jacob deGrom. You get a great performance out of Yoenis Cespedes, who announces himself back into the lineup beautifully with a home run, announces that he is back, he is healthy, he's ready to roll for these next 60 games.
And possibly a save from Edwin Diaz.
If he's able to lock it down and look good doing it, if you're a Met fan, you're going to feel a lot better about this 2020 season because a lot of the questions that you had coming into this season would be answered in Game 1. Now, granted, we got a long way to go here, but a lot of the questions that you had coming in, Cespedes, Edwin Diaz, the bullpen, Justin Wilson, how is this going to play out? How are things going to play out? Well, you got a couple answers today. Hopefully Edwin Diaz can provide the final answer and the keynote on a 1-0 start to the 2020 season for the New York Mets as Rosario flies out to right field. Brandon Nimmo comes to the plate, 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Nimmo 1 for 3 on the day, had a single his first time up.
And Nimmo's going to collect his second hit of the day with a line drive hit to center field. Acuna plays it, gets it in quick. Nimmo's held to a single, but 2 hits on the day from Brandon Nimmo, so a good start to the 2020 campaign for him.
We'll see if Jeff McNeil can redeem himself for his disastrous base paths debacle.
Tough base path day for Jeff McNeil as he hit a bullet to Freddie Freeman that was turned into a double play. Got thrown out at third base on a ball in front of him, a cardinal sin of baseball. See if he can redeem himself here with Brandon Nimmo on first base.
One for 3 with a double.
McNeil looks good with the long hair. Kind of like the long hair look on him.
It's got that
not bad
greasy kind of look to it.
Yeah. That's the kind of player he is. He's, you know what he is? The thing I compare him to the most is like Dustin Pedroia.
Looks like he's trying to knock off Bryce Harper's kind of look with the sweatband.
Yeah. It does kind of have that flowing locks look of Bryce Harper. See if he can hit like him. I would take that.
Yeah, if we can get the production.
Shave the head off if it means he's going to hit like Bryce Harper. Maybe he can use the Phillips Norelco. Something that I will hopefully be adding to my repertoire pretty soon.
If they want to sponsor us and send you a free one.
Shout out Phillips. We love to give shout outs on this show that we don't get paid for.
Oh, yeah. It'll pay off one day.
One of these days, somebody's going to be like, you know what?
Thanks for all the free
stuff.
Free marketing.
Here's a free razor.
It's the least they could do.
I agree with you.
I really talked it up, too.
You did. 1-1 to McNeil here.
I gave them credit for this.
That beautiful beard of yours?
It's a lot of credit.
Yeah. Good job by Phillips Norelco.
It's the only brand I've had. Other brands may do better, so if you're another brand, you want to send me a free set of clippers.
So you're loyal to Phillips Norelco to a fault, huh?
Yeah. It's just what was at Best Buy that day.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out
I don't even know another brand.
I don't think Best Buy needs our plug.
The 1-1 pitch to Jeff McNeil. Low and away for a ball. 2-1. It's one of those just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. This 1-2 duo that you're seeing here, Nimmo on first base, McNeil at the plate, going to be a big part of this Mets team going forward. You got to imagine that the Brody Van Wagenen and ownership, even though ownership might change in a little bit, you got to imagine that the higher brass of the New York Mets really looks at these two players as cornerstone players, along with guys like Pete Alonso and Ahmed Rosario and obviously Jacob deGrom. So these two guys, certainly cornerstones for the Mets going forward. It would be great to see them really start to come into their own here and start to really take hold as the leaders of this franchise moving forward.
Once again, leave us some YouTube comments, some tweets. You can email us at garagepartypodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Let us know how you think. What do you think of the live stream?
As
The
McNeil
podcast in general.
to Freddie Freeman, and the side is retired. So here we go, Billy. The afternoon will come down to this. Now, I've seen this far too many times. I sat on my couch many a time last season. I sat in the ballpark last season. I sat on my couch. I sat in my car. I listened on the radio. I sat way too many times last season, and I saw a lead blown by new closer Edwin Diaz. And here we go. If there was any better way to write the story for the opening day in the 2020 season, if you're Edwin Diaz,
Would you knock on wood for me?
You can put
There it
all of last season's ills, all of the things that befalled him, all of the absolute terrible performances that he put forth last year. You can erase all of them and really put Mets fans' minds at ease with a good, solid performance here on opening day. If he comes out today and throws a good performance and gets this W for the opening day victory, a lot of Met fans are going to feel a lot better about Edwin Diaz at the back of that bullpen.
Granted, it will only be one save.
It's only one save, but
A big one.
it's a big one. 60 games. Everyone's big now. Everyone is big now. You can't afford to throw them away anymore. They're all big. All big. And we'll see if he can right the ship. Last season, not great. Has a chance to really recover and put Met fans' minds at ease. Make them feel like they're getting the closer that they thought they were getting when they made the trade last season. But we'll see. First opportunity for Edwin Diaz coming up here in a few minutes. Chance to put the Mets in the win column at 1-0 with 59 games remaining in this shortened season.
Two and a half hours in. Not too bad.
Not bad. 6:30. Quick game.
Yeah, fast one.
Yeah. Not over yet.
At least it's not still 0-0.
It's not 0-0, but there's a chance that after this it could be 1-1 or worse. And here we go.
What?
And the first pitch is grounded out to McNeil, or Jimenez, excuse me, at second base by Ozzie Albies. One away. One pitch, one out for Edwin Diaz. Two more to go. Good start.
I'll take that start.
Ozzie Albies trying to jump on him early. Look at those numbers from last year. Woof. Buzz's girlfriend. Woof.
Which calls for getting your first pitch swung at.
Yep. Well, got another big one here. Freddie Freeman up at plate. First pitch is high and tight. 97 miles an hour for Edwin Diaz, ball one. Let's go, Edwin. Let's put the finishing touches on this bad boy.
As you
Get
said,
the
a
win
Met
column.
killer.
A Met killer at Freddie Freeman. Second pitch outside, 2-0.
Diaz seems to be pitching around him a little bit.
Can't pitch around him in a one-run game. Go right at him. Inside, 3-0. Perhaps Ozzie Albies a bit overzealous swinging at the first pitch
Yeah.
from Edwin
Make
Diaz
the guy throw a strike.
as he tries to find his form here. as he falls behind Freddie Freeman 3-0. Here in the top of the ninth, the Mets nursing a 1-run lead. The 3-0 from Diaz to Freeman is ripped foul. Absolutely clobbered into the second deck by Freddie Freeman.
Pepsi or Coca-Cola porch or whatever it's called now.
Tried to jump all over Diaz there, who gave up a ton of home runs last year. Freddie Freeman knows that in the back of his mind, that Edwin Diaz was going to try to throw a strike there, tried to jump all over it, and just missed it by a couple of feet into the second deck, but just foul. Now the 3-1 from Diaz to Freeman is low, may have hit him. If it didn't hit him, it was certainly ball 4. And Freddie Freeman is aboard. So Edwin Diaz in a bit of trouble here as Marcell Ozuna coming to the plate with a tying run on first base in the ninth inning. Let me tell you something.
Not your best start for.
It's just
for the closer.
Unbelievable.
We are in a bit of a time constraint. Probably won't have time to stay with you in extra innings if it goes that route.
First pitch changeup from Edwin Diaz to Marcell Ozuna. Swings right through it. No balls, 1 strike.
Ozuna not as disciplined a hitter as Freddie Freeman, but still a very dangerous guy at the plate.
Yeah, I guarantee Ozzy Albies probably really kicking himself for swinging at that first pitch from Edwin Diaz. I get trying to jump on him early, but you got to make this guy throw a strike. He has the tendency to lose his zone a little bit as Ozuna fouls back the 0-1 pitch, 0-2. The dangerous Matt Adams having a rough day today, but always dangerous. Ton of power from Matt Adams on deck. The 0-2 pitch from Ozuna. Wilson Ramos calling for a
Diaz,
fastball.
you just got to get the ball over the plate and down.
And it's right down the middle on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch from Edwin Diaz. Called strike 3, 2 away. Nicely done there from Diaz. Painted it beautifully on the outside corner. Ramos wanted an outside fastball. It doesn't get much better than that. That's right on the black.
Ozuna's second of the
Beautiful
day
pitch.
looking.
Second of the day. Yeah, I believe so, yeah. So now Matt Adams, the last chance for the Atlanta Braves here on opening day as he steps at the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. Ground out, strikeout. And the first pitch to Matt Adams is outside, ball 1. Like I said before, you can never count out Matt Adams. He's got a ton of power. He's done some damage to the Mets in the past. Been around a long time. Spent a lot of time with Atlanta here, but he's bounced around the league quite a bit. A lot of power. Kept him in the league for a long time.
And the fans are jumping.
Jumping around as Adams clobbers 1 foul. So that's 2 foul balls, 1 by Freeman and 1 by Matt Adams. Absolutely crushed, but foul. So Edwin Diaz getting a little bit of help from an early bat from Matt Adams and Freddie Freeman as the count is 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Adams is fouled back 1-2, and the Atlanta Braves are down to their final strike of the afternoon. The cardboard cutouts remain strapped to their chairs, unable to stand up and cheer. They remain hogtied to their seats like hostages as they're forced to watch this in agony. But they remain with that giant smile on their face regardless. Good for them. The 1-2 pitch from Diaz to Adams is swung on and missed. A slider from Diaz, strike 3, and the Mets, in a shortened 60-game season, will collect their first victory of the year. They have 59 more to go, but they're off to a good start here.
Now the masks are on. And
the masks are on. They'll celebrate with each other.
Fake high fives.
Fake high fives. Edwin Diaz racks in his first save of the year. He wasn't able to do it completely clean. He walked Freddie Freeman, but he got the job done. That's all you can ask for. And a really good feel-good opening day for the New York Mets as Yoenis Cespedes collects the home run for the only run. Jacob deGrom pitches 5 beautiful innings, and Edwin Diaz collects the save at the end of the game. And Luis Rojas, after taking over for Carlos Beltran, collects his first win as New York Mets manager in his career. His first win as a manager in his career, so good for Luis Rojas.
That was picture perfect as a win you can draw up for opening day.
Picture perfect both in the way they won and in time. 6:30, 2.5 hours in, a little under 2.5 hours. 4:10 first pitch, 6:36 last pitch. And that last pitch was thrown by Edwin Diaz, who will certainly put a lot of Mets fans' minds at ease, at least for a day, as he collects his first save of the year. The Mets collect their first win of the year. in this shortened 60-game season. Seth Lugo gets the victory. Chris Martin gets the loss. Time of the game, 2 hours and 25 minutes. 6 hits for the Mets, 3 hits for the Braves. Good opening day win, Billy.
Solid as you can get.
Good opening day win. The Mets are always good on opening day.
Spark from Cespedes.
Yep.
Yeah, DeGrom out there looked healthy. 8 Ks in 5 innings, 1 hit.
That's right.
And then Edwin Diaz, a little shaky, but he got it done.
A little shaky, got it done. Got helped by a few foul balls that were ripped just foul, but he gets the save. He gets the save. And in this shortened season, you're not looking for much more than that. Just collect the wins. Just stockpile them when you can.
To a very good Atlanta Braves team.
A very good Atlanta Braves team.
On paper.
I think it's good for the Mets that they're going to get some of these wins, or hopefully some of these wins, but some of these games against the Atlanta Braves will be early, perhaps before they hit their groove. They'll play 6 games with the Atlanta Braves. Out of 10, they'll play 6 in the first 15 days. So maybe it's a good thing they're getting the Braves out of the way early on in the season.
Steal a couple of those W's.
Maybe steal a couple wins against them. It's going to be a tough road. They got to play each team in their division 10 times. They'll mix in, I think, 4 or 5 games each with the American League East. So they'll play the Orioles, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Rays, and the Red Sox, which will be next week. They'll play the Red Sox for 4 games, 2 at Citi Field, 2 at Fenway. But for today, July 24th, it's all about the win. They got the win, and they are 1-0 on this shortened season.
And that was episode 9 of the Garage Party Podcast. Not the traditional episode, but it's going to be exclusively to YouTube, as you already know.
That's right.
We thank you guys for watching live if you did. If not, you're watching after the fact. What are you doing? Because it was all about the baseball game.
Yeah.
You got to get with the program. Watch us live next time, which we will probably do for UFC 252 on August 15th.
That'll be our next live stream. We'll have some shows in between then just to make sure that you guys are well aware of the details on that one. But I think this one went very well. I like the live stream format. I had a good time. I think UFC be a little bit more structured. We'll know exactly when we're going to get off, how long we'll be on. Baseball, it's really a crapshoot. We got lucky. Today was only 2 hours and 25 minutes. But
yeah. But
UFC,
also,
UFC
may be a little less structured within the show itself.
Right.
May have a couple guests in studio, too, possibly.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be awesome.
You know, may have some whiskey flowing, some
definitely going to have some whiskey
going.
flowing. Yeah, I think I'm going to celebrate with a Buffalo Trace when I get back today. Baseball's back, baby.
It is back.
The Galanch said it all.
I feel like you would go straight to the Bud Light on a baseball day. I feel like that's more baseball.
I may. I mean, what is it now? It's almost 7 o'clock. So you
it's
figure
by
the time definitely happy hour. And the Mets won, which makes it a really happy hour. Bud Light's a possibility. I don't know, though. First sporting event that I've really cared about in
that buff,
5 months.
That buff.
I feel like that calls for a little buff.
Little buff.
Little Buffalo Trace. Shout out Buffalo Trace.
If you want to sponsor us, just think about your product placement coming in the ice trough.
That's right. Just in case you're just tuning in, Buffalo Trace, Billy is working on a table that's going to have coolers in it. And just think about how good your product would look on that table, sitting on a bed of cold ice, freezing ice, on the table, your bottle right there. Perfect product placement for the Garage Party Podcast. I think that gives you something to consider, Buffalo Trace.
Give us a call.
Give us a call. We're open. Shoot us a tweet any way you can. You get in contact with us. So, good stuff.
I think that's going to do it for today.
That will do it. Thanks for tuning in. We had a great time doing our first live stream, and definitely more to come. I think it's a successful way to interact with the fans. So
reach out to us and tell us what you guys want us to talk about for episode 10. Big episode, a milestone episode.
That's right.
And
coming to you next Friday. Not today.
Let us know what you thought of the live stream, too.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rich Warnock.
I'm Billy Pop Manuel. I'll do the peace signs. Way off the air. Can't tell if we're off the air.
We're not.